good look at Carson Ditch. There's Jake Hopscheit in that GRT race car, the MW Transportation sponsored number 01.
Misty Barnett, fastest start tonight. Third fastest, Jake Bowles, David Tanner. Again, this division, last count, 59 signed in. 59 of the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro. Trenton, what have you got?
Guys, I have to tell you, I don't have time to get through this all right now, but I did call a team meeting earlier today at Cade Dillard's pit. I provided them 3 scenarios to maybe lessen the lead to kind of spice up that modified feature a little bit later on tonight. So when we get a second, I can't wait to share with everybody my 3 recommendations for Cade.
I can't wait to hear this either.
I do know he took none of them.
That's exactly right. Next group of drivers are making their way out on the speedway, and that is one of the drivers out of the Day Racing stable. I believe that's Mason Day on the speedway in the number 95 car.
But he's an X-Mod, so we'll check on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of Farmersville, Texas. 5-time winner a year ago for the driver of the Wells-powered DeVilbiss race car, the Bronco Manufacturing JD Erector's entry. He will be followed by Jimmy Ray, the veteran, in the number 9. Jimmy Ray out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, third in last year's modified track point standings, was the driver of the number 9.
In turn 4, working out of turn 4 at Texarkana, Texas, the Catman John Mitchell, the GRT GX4 Mullins Power Team 5 Enterprise W&W Timber Entry, former Comp Cam Super Dirt Series champion, and in the 19 SB out of Imperial, California, that's Lance Maury, 2-time winner last year. The Maury Brothers Incorporated M&M Pump and Fabrication Durham powered MRT for Lance Maury.
Behind him, sorry, I was watching the Chili Bowl up there. I got sidetracked a little bit. Lucas Ward in the number 11 out of El Paso, Texas, X-Mod regular in the number 11, or former X-Mod regular, making the move up to the modified division. Track owner Royal Jones behind him out of Las Cruces in the Mesilla Valley Transportation sponsored number 131.
In the number 33, working out of turn number 2, that'll be Jaron Martin out of Republic, Missouri, the Yeoman Racing Engine Hughes race car with RPM Towing and Recovery, Medlock's Body Shop, and Martin Trucking, all sponsors on the side of the 33, a 2-time winner last year. And behind him in cart number 24, that'll be Rick Ortega out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Lift Arm Construction, Jones Construction GRT with a BMS racing engine. Also in this set, we'll have Gabe Hodges in the 7G out of Lebo, Kansas, the Hodges Farms and Dredging, Farm Bureau Financial, Mullins powered MK1. Derek Ramirez will be in this set out of Woodward, Oklahoma, the 2021 USMTS National Champion, last year's Wild West Shootout Champion, Braden Gress, and the B55 on the Speedway as well. Joined us back on Wednesday, and he hails out of Amarillo, Texas, 1-time winner last year, the McCabe Racing Engine, MV Custom, Gress Motorsports and Shock Service 55 car. And I think one more car on the Speedway, DJ. That'll be Chris Hennigan, Hennigan, and the number 16, a 14-time winner last year. An Arcotec's modified track champion, along with the Boot Hill Speedway track champion last year for Hennigan. And he's got Arcotec Speedway and Texas qualifying and consulting on the side of that CDR race car.
And just as we've seen in each of the first 3 nights, track continues to pick up speed, and track looks good. Ramirez, the 2021 US MTS modified champion. Well, he was at the top of the leaderboard. Hennigan now going to go to the top of the leaderboard there in Dirt Draft Top Laps with a 16.813. Again, dirtdraft.com. If you are not a member, highly encourage you to join. Play all year long for just about $6 a month. As folks at Dirt Draft have got just an absolutely outstanding program going right now, and they have got just a ton of really cool things. They've got Death Ridge Opticians promos. They've got My Race Pass promos and a whole ton of others. And again, if you are not a member, I definitely encourage you to join. New members get a free t-shirt of your choice as well. Promo code SecadaRace.com, Hunt the Front, and more. DirtDraft.com. Play often, as just like we do, and you can see exactly how good you are by looking at how bad we are.
Yeah, I'm really bad. The 11 in, that'll be Gene Nicholas out of Lowell, Arkansas. Sponsored by my wife, Kendi. I got to thank her, GeneNicholasLLC.com, and Midwest Wrap on the Mullins-powered Hughes race car. Behind him, Xavier Ortega in the 24 car out of Las Cruces, the Rocket Ball Ortega BMS Racing Engine, Lift Arm Construction, and Anthony Sosa Roofing and Construction. 24X for Xavier Ortega.
Driver that went from 17th to 3rd here on Wednesday night out of Tucson, Arizona. Jake O'Neill, a 5-time winner a year ago, 6th in the USMTS modified point standings. Driver of the Red Eye Motorsports-sponsored number 0. He'll be followed out by Duke Erickson in the 58, always one of my favorite cars out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 42 top 10s for the veteran 1 year ago, a 3-time winner for Duke Erickson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota in the 57.
3J will be behind him. Lewis Jackson out of Edgerton, Kansas. Driscoll Racing Engine, MB Custom, Jackson Soap Cells, and TDR Construction entry. And the 16 junior rolling out of turn 4, Dustin Hennigan, 2-time winner last year out of Marshall, Texas. CDR Race Cars, Mullins, Arcotec Speedway, Dirt Track Delegation, Top Rocks, and Absolute Diesel Service, all sponsors on the 16 Junior.
Shout out to all the great folks from Dirt Track Delegation as well for everything they do for racing. Chad Wheeler and the WR1 Sim sponsored at number 88 behind them on the racetrack out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. 5-time winner 1 year ago, and he'll be followed by the driver of the 58X. Also out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma, it's going to be Gary Christian. Picked up a USMTS modified win at Mason City Motor Speedway. Shout out Todd and Janet Staley, Ryan Staley. 1 year ago, Gary Christian in the 58X.
The 71 behind him, Bill Wilker out of Idlewood, Texas. The Top Shelf Motorsports, Gress Motorsports, Bill Wilker powered Evolution race car. In the 12, out of Kentucky, out of the Bluegrass State, out of Owensboro, Kentucky, it's Paul Miles, the Matt Baxter built Fox Shocks Visual Noise, number 12 on your screen.
So those were the drivers in this. This is the third session of Dirt Draft Top Laps for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds. Chris Hennigan, you see on the left side of your screen, currently atop the leaderboard with a 16813. These drivers, much like the X mods, they have drone pills for their starting spots. They will go into one of 5 heat races this evening, and again, the top 16 in passing points will lock their way into the feature. Drivers that are 17th on back after the heat races will fall into one of 2 B mains here a little bit later on this evening.
Did we catch AJ Diemel out there, DJ?
I thought you got him, but I did not mention him.
We just saw him on your screen. The Elk Mountain, Wisconsin driver in the black number 89, the White City Glass Case Engineering Durham-powered MB Custom Entry. 4-time winner last year was AJ Diemel, as Chris Hennigan still the fastest lap so far in Dirt Draft Hot Lap, 16.813. Then it's Ramirez, John Mitchell, Brayton Gress, and AJ Diemel 5th.
I thought you got AJ Diemel. Did you get Cody Tanquary as well?
I did not get Cody Tanquary.
The Lubbock, Texas driver, the Gibbons Power GRT race car, the TNT Dirt Armor, guns up, testing and backhoe, Mega Engineering Services sponsored. I can't read my own hand. I'm like James Essex. I can't read my own handwriting half the time. The 37T as Hennigan stays atop the leaderboard. Next wave of drivers making their way on the track.
That's right. They're going to be led out by the number 65, Tyler Davis, now 2-time defending USMTS national champion. And the Blackout Motorsports, BSB and Manufacturing, Gerber Collision, FOE Racing, and Central Spray Foam and Cement Lifting, Mullins Powered Bills Built MK1 chassis, 17 wins a year ago for that driver. Philip Houston behind them, the West Texas Raceway track champion in car 71, and he's in the S&S Fishing Reynolds Double H Vance, contender chassis by 71 Fabrication, Hatfield Racing Engine Entry, a 5-time winner last year was Philip Houston.
Behind him, one of the Racing Gallardos, I believe that's going to be Jake Gallardo in the J17, defending Vado Speedway Park Track champion out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He'll be followed by the driver of the 02 out of Wichita, Kansas. That's going to be Tanner Mullins, a 10-time winner last year, 5th in the USMTS modified point standings in the Mel Hamlin Ford sponsored number 02.
The number 60, Dan Ebert out of Lakeshore, Minnesota, 8 wins a year ago for the 2023 King of America champion, the Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Iron City Construction, Pro Power Racing Engine, Mullins chassis number 60, and the 75 behind him, the Hall of Famer out of Springfield, Missouri, a 3-time winner last year, Terry Phillips, the Don Babb Motorsports, Andy's Frozen Custard, Kenny's Tile, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Durham-powered Bloodline race car for Terry Phillips.
Merced, California's DJ Shannon will follow Terry Phillips on the speedway. There he is in the Shannon Drilling sponsored number 32. He's out of Merced, California. He'll be followed by the driver of the number 37. That's John Neal Reed out of Loving, New Mexico. A 5-time winner a year ago at West Texas, Abilene Motor Speedway in the B-Mod division, making the move up to modifieds this year in that entry.
And behind him, the 77 of C.J. Halsey. I was about to do John Neal Reed again. How about that? The Sound Signal Systems entry, Vanderbilt Race Car, 6th in last year's Vado Speedway Park USRA mod standings. And the 111 rolling at the flag stand, Logan Drake out of San Luis Obispo, California. The Drake Excavating and Aggregates, Borjan Auto, Vista Rosa, Universal Solution Corp, Mullins Powered MB Custom Chassis. DJ, we have had a total feast brought up to us from La Posta and Mr. Julian Herrera, as I'm back here if my wife will share it. There is a total feast. There's like 4 different boxes of stuff. There's 87,000 chips back there. We got queso, we got chips. Oh, we got quesadillas. Julian Herrera is the best.
My goodness. But they're a sponsor at the racetrack. They feed us as well. My goodness, I don't know what those are, Julian.
Rub it in.
Delicious.
Keep going.
We got mini sopapillas up here, too.
I don't know what a sopapilla is, but I will try
one. It's going to be. It's going to be eaten. It looks delicious.
La Posta restaurant. Go check them out there in Mesilla and in Las Cruces. They are, again, not just, all kidding aside, not just feeding us. They're a long-time support. Actually, I've been a supporter of this racetrack since it opened in 2019. And as we always say, support those who support racing as well. So if you're on the grounds or if you're watching at home and ever passing through Cruces or the area, La Posta Restaurant in Mesilla and Las Cruces, check them out because, again, they do a lot of great things for racing.
And they support us as Jake Gallardo briefly went to the top of the board. Then Dan Ebert shot up there, the Lakeshore, Minnesota driver, 16.491, fastest time. Racetrack picking up as Logan Drake goes second on the board, and he is in this set. Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro. Tanner Mullins up to fourth. Ebert will hold the top as the Hoker Trucking checkered flag drops. And we will send this wave of cars back to the pit area. I think we're going to have one more wave, and then we're going to get ready for Swift Springs Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze, as the next set start to make their way out. And
I think it's a Gallardo.
It's definitely a Gallardo, and I'm going to say, is that going to be the 17 of Peyton Gallardo? He got a little banged up the other night, and knee was bothering him, but he's back for action. The Las Cruces, New Mexico driver, the Stowen Racing Engine GR2, JGF built, Gallardo Construction Cart 17, and sneaking by him on the inside, rolling into turn 2. That'll be the 88S car of Nathan Smith out of Anthony, New Mexico, the Viva Auto Group, Rio Valley Biofuel Transport, Hatfield powered MB Custom for Nathan Smith.
I was hoping Rocco. I was hoping Rocco Gallardo would join us here for the final 3 days. Johnny Scott back there in the Mesilla Valley Transportation. There's him, that new G2 race car for the driver out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Good to see Johnny Scott back in the modified ranks, the 2018 US MTS modified champ, and he'll be followed out by Noah Daspit, a two-time winner a year ago out of Kiln, Mississippi. He picked up wins at Hattiesburg Motor Speedway and at Jackson as well. A few of the other drivers on the track, Ben, as this session gets ready to go green. We have got, you mentioned Mark Smith. No, you mentioned Nathan Smith. Mark Smith there on your screen of the 2SS. Vito Gallardo, second on the track points a year ago in the 17. Yep, Gene Weaver out of Amarillo, Texas, in that Western Flyer chassis with a PPE racing engine under the hood for the driver of the Gress Motorsports number 2X, and Success Mississippi's Chase Holland in the 45 on your screen. The other drivers on the track in what looks to be the final session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the modifieds.
Noah Daspit, the Kiln, Mississippi driver, top of the leaderboard, fastest time with a 16.371. Mark Smith shoots up to second. Racetrack definitely picking up as expected. She's a little bit greasy here tonight to start, and we will wrap up Dirt Draft Hot Laps for these modifieds, and we'll get set now for Dirt Track Bank Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Swift Springs was founded in 1997 in Tokyo, Japan, and they've been leading the spring industry since 1924 with the addition of a full line of conventional standover, coilover, assist helper, and bump springs, along with additional suspension tuning accessories. Swift Springs is your one-stop shop for everything circle track racing spring related. You can learn more at swiftsprings.com.
And again, Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze 13. That's coming up February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's headlined by the richest sport compact race in the world. $20,000 to win this year for the SCDRA Sport Compacts. They've got a host of things going on this year. They've just recently added Southern All-Stars late models on Friday and Saturday. $10,000 to win for the Southern All-Stars on Saturday. $10,000 to win for the Ultimate Street Stocks, Road Warriors Cop Stocks, and they will also feature the all-new SCDRA Young Lions as well. ScrevenMotorspeedway.net for more information. You can also follow them on social media on Facebook and the artist formerly known as Twitter.
That's one way to put it. Well, we had Peyton Gallardo slow. He drew the Midwest Sheet Metal caution. I believe these drivers are going to get one or two more laps, and then we are going to get ready for the Swift Springs Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze, as Peyton's inching ahead out there on the back straightaway. And we'll see if he stays, if he's out of harm's way, or if we're going to go with it. And they're going to send him back to the pit area. I tell you what, if you can't be at the event, you want this awesome merchandise that everybody loves, you can head online and do it. OneFastTEE.com is where you can go to pick up the merchandise. They will send it straight to your front door. OneFastTEE.com for all the merchandise from the event. You can also head over to WildWestShootout.net and go to fan or driver info. And there we go. I had a little graphic leaded in. OneFastTEE.com. Thank you, Tiffany. And pick up the merchandise. We got shirts, hoodies, all kinds of stuff. You can order it. They will mail it to you. OneFastTEE.com. If you are here on the property, we have the vendor trailer out back. Go back there and check it out and pick up that latest merchandise. As now, just like that, we are ready for qualifying. Swift Springs qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. And first up, Preston Luckman out of Coos Bay, Oregon, joined by Justin Duty out of Malina, Oregon in the 15, and the 11 of John Duty out of Russellville, Arkansas. Preston Luckman, the Quadell Industries, Q2i Archery, Chuck Bracklin Trucking, Beaver State Plastics, L&L Lumber, Alec, Oregon Tool and Supply, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, an 8-time winner a year ago. Justin Duty out of Milano, Oregon, the Don Frank Floors, First Class Septic, Darren and Mardell Williams, Jeff Stewart Trucking, Roberts Beef Company, Wilds Drive, Shaft number 15, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn, and the 11 of John Kirby. Good run back on Wednesday for him. The Construction Resources Group, Kirby Specialties, Eagle Lake Farms, Clements Powered Longhorn for John Kirby.
I was very unprepared for this Swift Springs qualifying session presented by Screaming Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze, but I got it now. We're rolling, man. We're good to go. Preston Luckman atop the leaderboard. Justin Duty second quick, and I don't know that John Kirby tripped the trigger on his first lap time. 1:4.392, the time to beat for Preston Luckman. Justin Duty, John Duty, by the way, in the house now this week. Get Duty second quick with a 1:4.525, and on the live timing and scoring in front of you and I, we did not get a lap on the Russellville, Arkansas driver, John Kirby. And in checking with race control, I do not believe they did either. So he will, my goodness, that was a wild wreck at the Chili Bowl right there. As 1,000 people just switched from our broadcast over to our friends at the Chili Bowl, by the way. But John Kirby, they're going to check the transponder on that car down here on the inside of the racetrack. J3 and the crew down there going at it. If Trenton Berry would have brought his Gorilla Tape with him, he might have been able to help with that situation as well.
Or charge that transponder. So we'll check on John Kirby. We'll see if we're going to send two out to join him. Should be Garrett Alberson, if we do, out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 58. And Brandon Shepard, first time of the year. He skipped the first 3 events because he's going to test for speed weeks. It rained every single practice out, but he's here for the final 3 events, and that's what counts. As Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. We'll see if they bring him out to the speedway. If we just let Kirby get a couple, we may let Kirby just make sure that transponder's ready to rock. So with that in mind, we are going to give John Kirby 2 unabridged laps, all out there by
John
lonesome.
Kirby 2. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 unabridged laps, and John, no pressure, but we're all watching just you because you're the only one on the racetrack.
We send a shout out to all the great folks there at Yoss Thriftway in Adrian, Missouri, watching. There at the deli.
Guys.
Yep, there at the deli
there
this
every
weekend.
time I get a chance.
Absolutely. Yep, no doubt about it. Old Granny Fluff back there slicing up the meat at the deli at Yoss Thriftway in Adrian, Missouri. We certainly appreciate them. First lap for, you can turn that microphone off. We can't hear Trent. John Kirby's first lap, third quick, 1:4.770 for the Russellville, Arkansas driver. Kirby going to wheel that entry off corner number 4 down to his second and final qualifying time. He laid down a good lap here on Wednesday, and in 1:4.684. We'll see how that stacks up, as he is right now third after the first 3 drivers.
Up next, it'll be Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 58, joined by Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois in the B5. Sorry, Trenton. In the 78S of Steve Stoltz out of Peoria, Arizona. Alberson second in the mini-series point standings. The Bill Sports Shop, Romer Machine and Welding, the Sea Valley Transportation, Lucas Oil, Nutrien Ag Solutions, Midwest Sheet Metal, Clements Powered Longhorn number 58. The B5 of Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois. The SRR, Longhorn Factory, DriveMVT.com, Bill Stein, Coleman Farms Racing, Riggs Drilling Solution, Cornet Powered Longhorn for the 4-time World of Outlaws champion. And joining us speedway by Steve Stoltz, the driver out of Peoria, Arizona, the Dirt Pro Incorporated, Alpine Stars, Mount Mobile Medical Center, Rockwell Sunglasses, and Right Shock Technologies, all sponsors on that Klein-powered Rocket XR1.
So Garrett Alberson will cross the line first, and he will go to first on the leaderboard. 1:4.335 for the Las Cruces native. Sheppy going to trip the trigger. Fourth quick, 1:4.561 for Brandon Shepard. Steve Stoltz, sixth fastest, 1:5.191 for the Peoria, Arizona driver. Wow. Garrett Alberson, the fastest lap that has been turned all week. 1:3.889 for Garrett Alberson. Brandon Shepard goes to second with a 14.270, and Steve Stoltz improves on lap 2 with a 1:4.805. How about it, fans? One of your own goes to the top of the leaderboard from Las Cruces. Garrett Alberson lays down the quickest lap of the week with a 1:3.889.
Up next out of Rochester, Minnesota, Dustin Sorensen in the 19, the 38 of Tomas Hunziker out of Bend, Oregon, the 2S of Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces. Dustin Sorensen, the heavy hitch, Sorensen and Sorensen Painting, Paulson Rock Products, Altenburg Construction, Rochester Chevrolet, CBR Drilling, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn, a 2-time winner last year for the 2022 USMTS champion. Tomas Hunziker in the International, Certainty AM1 Roofing and Siding, Spirit Fueled Racing, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, and Stormy Scott back after a night off with a little back pain in the Category 5 race cars. Clements Power, the Rancho Milagro Racing, the Sea Valley Transportation, Eagle Moon Farms, and Top of the World Ranch 2S.
Dustin Sorensen, third quick on his first lap. It's a good one, 1:4.342 for the Rochester, Minnesota driver. Tomas Hunziker, seventh fastest on lap 1, 1:4.767. And Stormy Scott goes to 5th quick with a 1:4.502. Dustin Sorensen's second lap, not quite as good. He'll stay 3rd. Best lap 14.342. Here comes Tomas Hunziker. His second time around, also not quite as good. He's 8th quick, 1:4.767. His best lap. Stormy Scott improves on lap number 2. 5th quick for the Las Cruces driver, the 2S, 1:4.440. 9 drivers have laid down a qualifying lap. Garrett Alberson's the time to beat with a 1:3.889.
Up next, 82 of Eston Whistler out of Otis, Oregon. The Vic Hill Racing Engine, Rocket Chassis, Meredith Lodging, Knotworks Construction, RK Construction, and Otis Market and Fueling sponsors on that race car. The 4D of Sean DeForest out of Petaluma, California. The Dave Pappenhausen Construction, Kevin Shera Designs Longhorn race car. And the 250, that'll be Walton Kyle out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. And the AOS Racing Engine Masters belt sponsored by Cisbaro, Buick GMC, American Document Services, Dentworks, and Fastlane Services.
So again, Garrett Alberson with that time to beat at 13.889. A Walton Kyle Jr. Gets his green flag lap, and Ian Whistler will clock in at a 1:4.899. That is 10th quick right now. Sean DeForest will check in 11th fastest, 1:5.209, and Walton Kyle grabs a handful of the Ute tire on the inside of the speedway. He'll be 12th quick. As Ian Whistler checks in 1:4.609, he is 7th fastest. Second lap was the best of his 2. Walton Kyle's got some handling issues on the 250. Sean DeForest second lap a tick better. He's 11th quick with a 1:4.811, and Walton Kyle Jr. is going to wheel that 250 off corner number 4, and his second lap time was not as good. His best lap, a 1:6.935. He is 12th quick after 12.
We're looking for Brad Couch in that set. We didn't see him. We'll see if he comes out later. Up next, Sam Mars out of Menominee, Wisconsin, the 28. Kyle Beard out of Truman, Arkansas, in the 86. And Caden Honeycutt out of Bridge City, Texas, in the 10. We'll get those 3. Sam Mars, the Vite Specialty Contracting and Waste Management, Debbie Enterprises, Kai Chevy Town, CMD Shocks, Teal Sims Plumbing, MB Custom Pro Power Racing Engine number 28. 1 win a year ago for that competitor. Kyle Beard last year, 5 wins. The 2-time Comp Cam Super Dirt Series champion. The Man Motorsports, Gary Beard Trucking, Autocraft, Foster Ben Construction, 4S&J Incorporated, KB Trucking, and Swift Springs number 86. Black Diamond Clements powered race car. And the 10 of Caden Honeycutt, Longhorn Advanced Performance Engine, Speed Ranch, Butler Built, RTR Material, Bill Stein, and Spring Vinyl Works, all sponsors on that Ape Racing Engine Longhorn for Caden Honeycutt.
Sam Mars 7th quick on lap number 1. Kyle Beard going to check in 13th quick. Caden Honeycutt goes to 11th fastest. We'll see if anybody in this group is able to improve on lap number 2. Sammy Mars, he does, but he stays 7th, 1:4.552, the best lap for the second generation driver. Kyle Beard improves on lap 2. He jumps up to 8th quick, 1:4.572, and Caden Honeycutt also improves on lap number 2. He stays 11th quick, 1:4.755. Garrett Alberson, Brandon Shepard, Dustin Sorensen right now your top 3 after 15 cars.
Up next, Mike Martler out of Winfield, Tennessee in the 157, the 49 of Jake Tim out of Winona, Minnesota, and the 15S of Clayton Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Mike Martler, a 12-time winner last year of Skyline Motorsports, Truck Country, Bruning Rock Products, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Browns Heavy Equipment, K&M Auto Salvage, and Petrov Towing, all sponsors on the 2-time the one-time World of Outlaws champion, the 2-time Wild West Shootout champion. Meanwhile, Jake Timmon, car number 49 out of Winona, Minnesota, the Herco Environmental, GorillMill.com, Oak Ridge Fabrication, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn. 12 wins last year. 2 of those came in the late model. And in this set, Clayton Stuckey, Black Diamond Race Car, Clements Power, under the Lucas Oil, Advanced Powder Coating, Fibertech Laser Cutting, Pro Glow, and AccuForce Dyno and Testers, number 15 for Clayton Stuckey.
Good lap for Mikey Marler, 4th quick on lap number 1. Jake Tim goes 11th fastest on his first lap. Clayton Stuckey 17th quick. Let's see if Marler has anything for Alberson. He may drift a little high coming off turn number 4. And yeah, he's just a hair off his first lap. His best lap, 4th quick, 1:4.351. Jake Tim jumps up to 7th fastest, 1:4.524, his best lap. Clayton Stuckey improves on lap 2. He stays 17th with a 1:4.826. 18 cars have attempted a lap. Looks like we got 4 drivers left to qualify. Ben, you mentioned earlier missing the Bossier City, Louisiana driver Brad Couch.
Up next, Shannon Babb out of Mowequa, Illinois, in car number 18, the Petrov Towing, Donnelly Trucking, Donna Gross Seeds, CJI Piping, Keebler Ultra Oil, and Getty Landscaping, along with VP, all sponsors on that Vic Hill Powered Longhorn number 18. The 14 Emma Mobags, Morgan Bagley. He comes to us out of Longview, Texas, in the Wayman and Kalen McMillan Motorsports P&W Sales, Precision Trailers, Billy Bob's Repair and Tire, P&W Ironworks, Clements Powered Rocket XR1, and Terry Carter out of Alberta, Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, the Black Diamond Clements Powered, Fort Signs and Promo, Good Guys, Alden Auto, and Hollywood Graphics Entry.
Good lap for Shannon Babb. Second quick, 1:4.1. Where did it go? 5.9. Morgan Bagley goes 14th fastest on his first lap. Terry Carter is 21st quick. Does Babb have anything for Garrett Albertson? Lap 2 is not as good. He'll stay second quick. Best lap 14.159. Mo Bags jumps up to 13th quick on his second lap with a 1:4.631. And Terry Carter wheels the 6 off corner number 4. His second lap a hair better, 20th fastest, 1:5.552. And that means we have, I believe,
no more. Not going to make it.
No,
Brad Couch not going to take a time, DJ. So that is going to wrap up qualifying for Group A. And how about that? Fastest time of the weekend, the Rio Grande Weight Services Shock the Clock Challenge with a 13.889, $1,000 right now. Garrett Albertson, and he bested his best time from a week ago tomorrow with that. So he's atop it. You see our qualifying results briefly from Group A Swift Springs qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. You got to want it. Tiffany gives it. She takes it away. We're going to go ahead right now and get ready for Group B. And your first qualifier is going to be Bryson James out of Albany, Oregon in car number 13. Chase Younghands out of Manhattan, Kansas in car 18. And the 97 of Roebling, Louisiana's Cade Dillard. The way these drivers qualify will line up heat races 3 and 4 this evening. And your first qualifier, Bryson James, a 16-time winner a year ago, 5 of those in a mod. The Shepherd Racing Engine Longhorn, sponsored by Schramm Motorsports, Schramm Brothers Excavating, James Gang Pizza, Northwest Platinum Trucking, and Donna Frio Skyline Ford. Chase Younghands debuting that MB Custom race car out here this year. The Shop Quick Racing, Bozark Ford, Paulson Rock Products, Stussy Construction, Sunoco Race Fuels, Grant Petroleum, and Kaiser Manufacturing. All sponsors on that Clements Powered entry. And Cade Dillard, currently 3rd in the standings for the late models. He leads the way with the mods. He was the opening round winner in the late model, and he's won every mod event out here so far. He's in the number 97, SNS Fishing and Rentals, Crone Farms, Mesilla Valley Transportation Production, Jars, Johnsville Company, Strength Roofing and Siding, Nickel Stores, Bill Stein, and Joe's Auto Sales. Car number 97. He had 6 wins all of last year, DJ, and he's already got 4 in the first 3 events of the year with 3 mod wins and a late model win.
Is that good?
It's not bad, and he's coming after Chad Weir's machine money as well, Trenton Berry.
Hey, Shannon was the last one to go across there, had a good time, second fastest in his group. He said he was over in staging, saw that Garrett laid down that 13.8. He said, my eyes got real big. There's no way in the world he thought he could run that fast. He was really close. I said, man, you're going to have a good shot to probably get you one before the end of the week. He said, I sure hope. He said, but if nothing else, I'm sure having a blast trying. So that's kind of awesome to gauge his temperature there his first time out here.
Well, I love having Shannon Babb in the desert again, and hopefully we'll see him back here next year as car number 13, Bryson James on the Speedway, Chase Younghands in the 18. We talked about it, DJ. Looks a lot like him, not teammates, though, and then the 97 of Cade Dillard.
Reminds me of the old, you won't know this, but some of my friends back home there in the Mid-Ohio Valley, reminds me a little bit of the old Chad Heine, number 12, if any of my fans are, we don't have any fans. Any of our friends back home in the Muskingum County area remember some of Chad Heine's cars, both that 18 and the 13, both remind me a lot of the number 12 of Heine. He may be watching. Bryson James goes to the top of the leaderboard. He's one up by Cade Dillard. Bryson James' second lap, that's his best lap, 1:4.444. Younghands was 3rd quick his first time around. We'll see if he's able to improve on lap number 2. He does, stays 3rd quick, 1:4.785. And Cade Dillard lays down the second best lap of the night, so it'll be the quickest in Group B qualifying, 1:4.074. He has set the bar pretty high for the rest of the field in Group B.
Up next, Colin Weinberger out of Corbett, Oregon. The Stram Brothers Excavating, Swan Island Sheet Metal, Reed's Automotive, Checkered Flag Asphalt, NW Platinum Trucking, Clements Powered Longhorn, 21-time winner last year across 4 divisions was Weinberger. Joined by the 101 of Forest Trent, the J.C. Crockett Wrench, Longhorn, Clements Powered, Service 101 Storm Recovery, Trent Logging, TNC Transportation, Bill Stein SFP Performance Solution Systems, and Driven to Save Lives, VP number 101 for Forest Trent, and B.J. Robinson out of Bossier City, Louisiana, last year 3rd in the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series standings. The DP Motorsport, David Peterson Contracting, Andrew Towing and Recovery, FiberTech Laser Cutting, and Comprehensive Motorsports, all sponsors for that one of B.J. Robinson.
Colin Weinberger goes 3rd quick on his first lap, 14.524. Forrest Trent lays down the 4th best lap. B.J. Robinson, he goes 3rd quick, 1:4.504. Second time for Colin Weinberger, second fastest, good lap, 14.394. The Morristown, Tennessee driver of Forrest Trent, Fifth quick, second lap not as good. 1:45.51 is his best lap time, and B.J. Robinson's best lap, also lap number 1. He is fourth fastest with a 1:45.04 after 6 cars. Cade Dillard, the time to beat in Group B, 1:40.74.
Up next, Kent Rosevear out of Yuma, Arizona, the 02, the 17 of Drake Troutman out of Hyman, PA, and the 32B of Cody Laney out of Torrance, California. Kent Rosevear in the 02, ProTech Fleet Services. Jack Meadow Racing, Gordy Speed Center, Performance Bodies and Parts, custom powered Longhorn, a one-time winner a year ago. Joined by Drake Troutman in cart number 7. That driver out of Hyman, PA, Wheeler Fleet Solutions, RFI Resources, Cliffs Goodyear Auto Service, Finish Line Outdoors, and Contractor Support Group, all sponsors on the Chris Bragg Racing, Clements Longhorn. And Cody Laney, the Pete Van Eiderstein Racing, Bartels Harley Davidson, Ibach, Integra, Elite Science, and CPD Racing Shocks, cart 32 for Cody Laney.
Kent Rosevear's first lap time, 7th quick. First time for Drake Troutman, good lap. Second fastest, 14.394. He would actually be third quick. That's the same lap time Colin Weinbarger laid down. Cody Laney is 8th quick on lap 1. Second time around for Kent Rosevear, better, 8th quick, 14.914. Drake Troutman betters himself. He is officially second quick now. Second lap time, 1:42.36. And Cody Laney in the Pete Van Eiderstein owned 32B, he improves on lap 2. He's 7th fastest, 1:46.06. 9 cars have qualified. It's now Cade Dillard, Drake Troutman, Colin Weinbarger, your top 3.
Up next out of Happy, Texas, Rodney Sanders in the 73, the 25 of Mikey Kyle out of Westlake, Louisiana, and the 2 of Tyler Stevens out of Paragould, Arkansas. Rodney Sanders, the Brian Doherty Motorsports, Huey Brothers Well Service, Kaiser Manufacturing, Jim's Automotive, Keith Hammett Trucking and Construction, and Homer's Auto Repair, all sponsors in that Boswell Oil, VP Racing Fuels number 73, J. Dickens Powered MB Custom Entry, Mikey Kyle out of Westlake, Louisiana, the Longhorn by Mikey Kyle, Cornette Powered, Golf Cars of Louisiana, Ultra Outdoor, J&J Motorsports, car 25, and car number 2 of Tyler Stevens out of Paragould, Arkansas, the Modco Racing Engine, Longhorn by Wells, Keith Hammett Trucking and Construction, Southern Bell, James A. Rogers Excavating, Wabam, Penske Boomland, Swift Springs, and Super V Speedway, all sponsors for Tyler Stevens.
First lap time for Rodney Sanders is good enough for 8th quick. Mikey Kyle goes 10th fastest on his first lap. White flag waves for Tyler Stevens. 8th fastest for him, 1:46.87. Second and final lap time for the Brian Doherty Racing number 73 of Rodney Sanders. Not quite as good. 9th quick, 1:46.91, his best lap. Mikey Kyle improves 1 spot on lap 2. 10th quick, 1:47.41. And Tyler Stevens, he improves on lap 2. He stays 8th fastest. His best lap, 1:4.637. 12 drivers have now attempted a lap. Cade Dillard still the time to beat in Group B, 14.074.
Up next, Chance Mann out of Newport, Arkansas, the Man Motorsports, Gary Beard Trucking, Mirtech Harvest Centers, New Vision Graphics, Clements Powered Black Diamond number 88, the E85 of Jason Strand out of Portland, North Dakota, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, and North Dakota Corn Council, ChristianCarsOnline.com, Victory Diesel, Performance Auto, SRT Specialties, and Hatton Co-op entry, and the one of Turbo, Tyler Erb, a 3-time winner last year, the best performance motorsports, bulk material lift, base racing fuels, first class septic, Anthony's Pizzas, Pee Wee's Record Service, Robert Speed Company, all sponsors in that Twisted Tech Clements Powered Rocket for Tyler Erb.
So again, Cade Dillard, 1:40.74 is the driver they're gunning for here in Group B. Chance Mann will be 13th quick on lap 1. Good lap for Jason Strand, 5th quick, 1:4.492. Tyler Erb, 8th fastest on his first time around. Is both Mann and Strand coming around nearly at the same time off corner number 4. And Strand improves on lap 2. Yeah, he stays 5th quick, but he improved on lap 2. 1:4.469 was his best lap. Tyler Erb, he moves up 1 spot to 7th, a 1:4.529 for Turbo. And Chance Mann is 15th quick. His best lap was a 1:5.454. Dillard, Troutman, Weinbarger, your top 3.
Up next will be Don Shaw. Jim Whistler out of Otis, Oregon, the 28. Don Shaw in the 42 out of Ham Lake, Minnesota. And the 6 of Kyle Larson out of Elk Grove, California. Jimmy Whistler and the Whistler Investments, all-purpose storage, Whistler Construction, MS Shock Therapy, Vic Hill Powered Rocket XR1, joined by the 42S of Don Shaw, 6-time winner last year with Shaw Trucking, Blaine Brothers, EMR, Luke Tech, Dane Oil, West Bay Leasing and Structural Buildings, all sponsors on the Vic Hill Capital race car for Don Shaw. And Kyle Larson, 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion, the Cornette Powered Longhorn, Flow Racing, HinderCars.com, Bill Stein, D&E Marine, along with Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Hot Rod Septic Treatment, and Mesilla Valley Transportation, all sponsors in that entry. Larson, Florida with the wall down in 1 and 2.
Don Shaw, 13th quick, his first time around, the Ham Lake, Minnesota driver. Kyle Larson's first lap, yeah, he's not going to like it. 1:53.20. That is 17th best. Jim Whistler, his best lap, lap 1, 9th quick, 1:4.573. Don Shaw now goes 9th quick. He betters himself, 1:4.561, his best lap. Kyle Larson, he improves on lap 2. He's not going to like it though, Ben. He is 14th quick right now, a 1:4.726. That could make things interesting in the heat races. We've had 18 drivers qualify, 3 drivers left. Still Kate Dillard atop the leaderboard in Group B with a 1:4.074.
Up next out of Chihuahua, Mexico, Keiko Perez, the Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, Shamrock Racing Team, Mitchell Suspension Engineering, Grupo Anbeck, 4Leaf, and ADC, all sponsors on that number 3 car. The 7 of Ricky Weiss out of Headingly, Manitoba, now residing in Monterey, Tennessee. The G-Style Transport, Dryden, Collins Brothers Towing, Kiewat Truck Service, Derek Sandblasting, Weisner Trucking, Vic Hill Powered Sniper. 8 wins a year ago for the former Eldora Speedway track champion. And Bobby Pierce, he's won the last 2 events. In the Rio Grande Waste Services, Hooker Trucking, with Sea Valley Transportation, Low Voltage Solutions, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, sponsored by Toyota Danville. For Bobby Pierce, 3 national championships last year. DJ, he is still chasing the $100,000 from the Penske Pay Dirt Jackpot bonus if he can win these final 3 events.
Keiko Perez will go 18th quick on lap number 1. First lap time for Ricky Weiss is good enough for 13th quick. And Bobby Pierce 2nd quick on lap 1, Ben. 1:42.02 for the Oakwood, Illinois driver. Second time around for Keiko Perez, not quite as good. It'll be 20th quick. Best lap 15.257. Ricky Weiss improves on lap 2, 1:4.557. He is 10th quick. Bobby Pierce does not improve on lap number 2. He will be 2nd quick, though, in Group B with a 1:4.202, and that should unofficially wrap up all of Swift Springs qualifying, presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Your fastest qualifier in Group B, Kate Dillard, with a lap of 1:4.074. Look at that gorgeous sunset there. All right, look at them quick, Ben. They're going to go away very, very soon.
Gotta want it.
Yep, Bobby Pierce 2nd quick. Play that again. Drake Troutman 3rd quick. Colin Weinbarger 4th unofficially. Those 4 drivers will be on the front row of heat races 3 and 4 a little bit later on this evening, followed by there we went. Bryson James, Jason Strand, BJ Robinson, Tyler Erb, Forrest Tran, and Ricky Weiss rounding out the top 10.
Gorgeous sunset out here in the desert. Garrett Alberson ups himself to the Rio Grande Waste Services Shock the Clock Challenge, $1,000, the fastest overall time of the week, and he's in the driver's seat for that. He's the driver's seat for Fast Time tonight in Swift Springs qualifying, presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze, and we are in the driver's seat for getting this track ready for tonight's heat race action. We are going to step aside, thanks to marketing partners. When we come back here to FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park, it's going to be time to get ready for heat race action in the desert. This is the Flow Racing broadcast presented by Coleman Farms Racing. We'll be right back.
Race fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country. Or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download in Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, your fantasy racing edge.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all of the nation's top brands, including Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Poske.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's got to be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your Simply Awesome race shirts.
Established in 1983, FK Rod Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
Well, those of you here in the grounds and watching at home, this Coltman Farms Racing broadcast on Flow Racing, welcome back to FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park. No track prep. We are ready to roll right into this evening's racing program. So with that in mind, those of you again on the grounds, we will ask you to please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, remove your caps. First, for this evening's invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to be here this evening. You blessed us with another great day for racing, Lord, and we're thankful for that. We come to you at this time, Father. We ask you to just watch over these drivers, the crews, the track staff, and the fans, Lord, here at the racetrack especially, but be with us as we depart and go our separate ways later on this evening. Just bless us all with a blanket of safety, Lord. Just give the drivers the guidance and the wisdom they need when they're out there racing. Lord, we're thankful for so many things in life. We're thankful for our servicemen and women that continue to fight to make this the greatest country in the entire world. They're both abroad and here in our native land, Lord. But more than anything, we're thankful for the gift of your Son, Jesus Christ. He died on the cross for our sins. He rose from the tomb so that we could have a chance to spend eternity in heaven with you. We ask all of this in his precious and holy name. Amen. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll ask you to please remain standing. A very special guest, Garrett Alberson's sister, Larissa Brungot, will be singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Larissa, thank you very, very much. Outstanding rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner, Larissa Brungot. Formerly Alberson, Garrett Alberson's sister. Glad to have her with us, and she did a much better job on that microphone than you would have done singing the national anthem. Ben, I've never heard you sing before.
There's a reason for that. Nobody wants to hear that. Well, DJ, just like that, we're going to get started. Shocker Hitch X Mod Heat Races presented by Border Tire. We got 4 of them coming your way as the entry list has swollen to 52 drivers in this division. Actually, I believe 51 now as we get set for action, and this will be Dirt Pro Contracting Heat 1. On the pole, it'll be Jake Haddock's Louisiana driver in car 198. To his outside, Lucas Rodine out of Marion, North Dakota, the Nightmare in car 19.
Pleasant Hill, Missouri's Ethan Young going to start inside row 2 on his outside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. In the 0-2, that is Deuce Teague.
Row 3 will be Shane McNutt out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in car 24M. And to his outside, Aiden Frazier out of Bosque Farms, New Mexico in the 28A.
We move back to row number 4. We find a couple first-timers with us. It'll be Simply Louisiana's Colby Williams in the 7cc and Mason Day out of Farmersville, Texas in the 95. Next row back on the inside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, it's going to be Mike Rosales. And on his outside out of Bellevue, Nebraska, Brian Barrett in the 28T.
Your final 3 starters will be Eric McNutt out of Las Cruces in the 5M and the 25 of Clayton Schroer out of Strong City, Kansas. And on the back row, Victor Barraz out of El Paso, Texas. 13 cars going at it. 8 laps of distance, passing points, name of the game. Top 16 in the heats will lock into tonight's main event. Everybody will be in one of 2 B mains as it's Haddocks and Rodine as we'll see the green flag. Round 4, the 18th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts is underway.
Dirt Pro Contracting Heat Race number 1 for the X-Mods. Jake had a couple good cars up front here in this one, Ben. Jake Haddocks in that 198. Lucas Rodine, the Nightmare, and the 19. They were side by side for about half a lap. Haddock, who had a solid run here on Wednesday evening, going to jump out and grab the lead at the end of the first lap.
right now. Haddix leads the way. Rodine sits in the second spot. Teague back in third. In the fourth spot right now, it'll be Colby Williams. As DJ said, first time here this week, first time ever to the Wild West Shootout. As Connor, we'll see Connor Williams out a little bit later. He was here last year. Right now, though, it is all Haddix leading the way early in this one. Fast racetrack. They'll work through the middle of turns 1 and 2, and Rodine sits in second. Teague back in third, and DJ now Williams going to come under fire from Rosales for the fourth spot.
Indeed, he is. Rosales able to drive by on the inside and take that fourth position away at least momentarily. And Mike Rosales may not be done yet. He's going to try to tiptoe around the inside of Deuce Teague in the 0-2. Teague was ahead of him that time by at the stripe. Good battle there. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth all on your screen.
And Teague with trouble now. He'll slip up out of turn number 2, and that allows Williams to go to the inside of him. Meanwhile, joining that battle as well will be cart number 24, McNutt. Laps ticking down in this one. We're past the halfway mark. 4 down, 4 to go, and out front it is all Jake Haddix. I want to say Lee J. Haddix. Jake Haddix, the Ruston, Louisiana driver in the 198 as he works off of 4.
And again, the top 16 drivers in passing points after these heat races will lock themselves into the show. Ben, the drivers are 17th on back, will fall into one of 2B mains. Jake Haddix picking them up and putting them away with less than 3 laps to go in this one. He's got a 1.6 second advantage over Lucas Rodine. Mike Rosales starting to close in now on Rodine. Rosales, one of the regulars here at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park, currently sits in third.
And he started back at 9th, so we talk about passing points. Rosales liking what he's seen. He'd love to get one more spot. That about guarantee him the pole tonight. Meanwhile, though, white flag is in there. Final time around the speedway for Louisiana's Jake Haddix.
Jake Haddix in the 198, clinging to a 1.6 second advantage the last time by, up to 2.3 seconds now, as the Ruston, Louisiana driver looking strong at the front of the field.
Final time off into turns 3 and 4 in the winner of Dirt Pro Contracting Heat Race number 1. It's going to be Jake Haddix in the 198. Second, we'll go to Lucas Rodine. Mike Rosales rounds out your podium in third.
So taking that third spot, as Ben said, Mike Rosales. Lucas Rodine crosses in the second spot, and there's a good look at your winner out of Ruston, Shootout, Louisiana, in the PTS Racing Engines powered Hughes race car, the LJ Haddix & Son Hercules Transport, Murphy Oil Company, Max Truck Reparo, Nagel sponsored number 198. Jake Haddix gets the win in Dirt Pro Contracting Heat Race number 1.
It's now time for Gorsuch Performance Solutions Heat Race number 2, and here's how we're going to roll him around. First time we've seen him here this week on the pole, and the number 15 out of Vidor, Texas, it's Tracy Denby in the 15. Into his outside from Lebo, Kansas, it's be Jake Hodges in the 14J.
Nate Ranke out of Lisbon, North Dakota, going to start inside row 2 in the 71. On his outside out of Tortugas, New Mexico, in the 44JT, Jaime Torres.
Row 3 will be Mr. Rob Mosley out of Los Lunas, New Mexico in the M17, and the 1J of Jaden Crest out of Jamestown, North Dakota.
Jonathan Ortega starts inside row 4. He's in the 24 out of Las Cruces, and on his outside from Calera, Oklahoma. Keep your eyes on him, the 60, that's William Gould.
Row 5, the M77 of Cameron Martin out of Los Lunas, along with Brian Klein. And row 6 will be Gregory Murhead, along with Andrew Hodges. Late arrival on the back, Willie Gammett in the 7. As we got 13 cars in this one, DJ 8 laps the distance. This is Gorsuch Performance Solutions Heat Race number 2.
Yeah, Jacob Hodges going to grab the early advantage from first-timer Tracy Denby Jr. in the number 15 car. They're 3 wide momentarily behind them. That's the 71 of Nate Rinke, the 44 JT of Jaime Torres, Jaden Christ.
Ooh, big smoke.
Let's go, baby. And big-time accident down in turns 3 and 4 as well as Tracy Denby Jr. He just got here and unloaded this evening, and he runs into trouble down in turns 3 and 4. Jaime Torres, not sure he had anywhere to go as the Los Lunas, New Mexico driver. He's from Tortugas, New Mexico.
Yes, sir.
Jaime Torres, nowhere to go. He gets involved, and yeah, you said a lot of smoke out of that
look
number
at the
60.
fluid.
Yeah, and that's a tough break for William Gould. Talked him back in the pit. He's actually his son's. There's a kangaroo at the Chili Bowl right there.
Yeah. Weirdest looking dog I've ever seen, DJ.
Trenton, William Gould, we're going to take a look at the FK Rod Ends Instant Replay out here trying to shake that car down for his son before his son goes B-Mod racing there around home. And here's a look at what happened is, Denby, he slowed up just a little bit. Jaime Torres, maybe not anticipating him slowing up. He ran up over the left rear of that race car, and that's what brought us under this Midwest Sheet Metal caution. Trenton Berry, what did you see from your vantage point?
Hey, that race car that pulled off right there, I was going to tell you something unrelated. You talked about the Arrowhead Speedway. That car that was at the tail right there, that was Willie Gamble. He's the owner of the racetrack and the gentleman responsible for just pouring the funding into that place to bring it up to speed. So first time we've seen him here, and clearly he was just trying to get a lap or two right there to kind of shake down his race car,
well,
presumably for the rest of the weekend.
He was a late arrival here today per your idea there, Trenton. And I want to tell you something about Willie Gamble. I haven't been to Arrowhead Speedway yet, but we've all seen the footage of it. We've seen the facility, amazing. They had a race last year. Weather looked threatening. They were struggling with some things. Comp Cam Super Dirt Series Super Late Model event. Free grandstand admission at the last minute. Let everybody in the grandstands for free. And Trenton, you want to gain a lot of fans, have a free grandstand admission for a Super Late Model special.
Yeah, my gosh, that's if only everybody was so lucky to be able to pull that off. So it's an awesome place. I talked about it last weekend when you guys asked me about it. So cool to see that Willie's out here going to race a little bit.
Absolutely. And in a day and age where it's not easy to keep a racetrack open, as they are just falling left and right in this heat race. Mr. Robb just slowed up over there. Nate Reinke is slowed.
Cameron Martin had stopped. We had three stops simultaneously.
I'm wondering,
turn
I'm
1
wondering,
and 2.
Well, I'm sorry, Ben. I didn't mean to step on you there. I'm wondering if they were pointing out maybe debris or pointing something out on the speedway over there as well, since they all three stopped maybe in the same place as track officials over there checking it out. And I believe now they're slowing on the back straightaway to allow the field to catch back up to them, and race director Kelly Carlton can tuck them in line. But here's the thing, that accident happened on the first lap in turns 3 and 4, so we did not get a lap in. It's going to be a complete side-by-side double file restart, and some drivers going to have an opportunity to pick up a few extra passing points in this one with the guys that have fallen out.
Yeah, we've had some guys go by the wayside with 0 down, 8 to go here in Gorsuch Performance Solutions Heat 2. Heat 2 of 4 for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire. We'll have 5 heat races tonight in the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro. And, of course, 4 heat races in the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Model Division presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. Jam-packed show tomorrow and on Sunday, DJ, rounds 5 and 6. And the gates will open at 3. On-track action at 3:30 both days. WildWestShootout.net for more information. I think the high tomorrow is like 63, and the high on Sunday is 67. Let's go.
I'll take it.
It's been a rough weather week, I think, everywhere in the country. I mean, it's been unbelievably windy out here. We've had wind maybe 2 or 3 days in the first 2 years. This year, the wind has blown every single day, and I saw on the East Coast today some schools were closed because of wind.
You just meant I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, it is just absolutely paralyzing the South right now, as these winds that have blown through here the last couple of days starting to make their way over to the East Coast. Certainly thinking about all of our friends watching over there, as I think now what was supposed to be a 13-car heat race has dwindled down to 10 already. So they're getting the field lined back up. See if we can get Cameron Martin on the outside. I think we got it now. They will start him next time by. It's going to be Tracy Denby is going to be able to continue. The Vidor Texas driver in the 15. Jake Hodges on the outside. Nate Reinke and Jaime Torres also able to continue. They'll be in row 2. Mr. Rob Mosley and Jayden Chris, they were supposed to be in row 3. They're in row 3. Jonathan Ortega in row 4. Cameron Martin will be on his outside. We lost William Gould. We lost Brian Klein. And then you've got Gregory Murhead and I believe Andrew Hodges at the tail end of this field. 10 cars, 8 laps, top 16 in passing points. Go to the A main. This is Gorsuch Performance Solutions heat race number 2.
Well, we've had 5+ minutes and no laps. Let's see if we can change that right now as battle heating up back from second on back as Reinke will take that spot. Torres in third. Was a multi-car incident on the first lap, so everybody retained their starting spot. They can continue. And there's a lot of guys that are really tight down in 3 and 4 as we've got one bouncing off the wall, and I believe that's Ortega, as we will continue clean and green. And not Ortega, that'll be Jacob Hodges. He'll limp to the infield, and somehow, some way, we stay green, DJ. We've got not just one, but count it now, 2 laps complete here at Gorsuch Performance Solutions heat number 2.
That's right. Jacob Hodges at the front of the field in this one. He's got a 1.1 second advantage over Nate Reinke. Reinke trying to turn back the challenges of Jaime Torres. You're looking at the battle for the 4th spot on your screen. Jayden Christ and that Scott Benz-owned number 1S, a standout stock car and Wissota street stock driver up in North Dakota. And he's right now, again, turning back the advances of Mr. Rob Mosley in the M17.
Well, Christ is really adapting to the division pretty quick. As Scott Bentz said, he's really only been in a stock car, but second night out, he runs fourth in this one. Out in front, Jacob Hodges leads the way over Ranke, Torres, Christ, and Mosley. That's your top 5 as they work out of 2 down the back straightaway, working lap 5 of this second of 4 Shocker Hitch X Mod heats presented by Border Tire.
Coming around this time by it'd be 3 laps to go, as Ben said, working lap 5 going up on the scoreboard. There is a good look at the gap your race leader Jake Hodges has over Nate Ranke, and just about the same distance that Ranke has over third place Jaime Torres. Torres has stretched out his advantage over Jaden Christ, who's momentarily shaken himself free from Mr. Rob Mosley. 2 laps to go this time by. Jacob Hodges picking him up and putting him down here in Gorsuch Performance Heat Race number 2.
Well, we heard that early in this one we saw Andrew Hodges go by the wayside, but Jacob Hodges having better luck as he comes around to the white flag. Final time around the speedway in this one, and last time by 1.6 seconds the advantage over Nate Ranke. This time 1.5 as Ranke cuts into the lead a little bit. Not going to be enough though, DJ. Final time as your leaders head down the backstretch.
Indeed they do. Now they're off into turns 3 and 4 and picking up, I believe, his first heat race win of the week out of Lebo, Kansas. Jacob Hodges in the 14J gets it done here in Gorsuch Performance Heat Race number 2. Nate Ranke finishes in second, Jaime Torres third, Jaden Christ fourth, and Mr. Rob Mosley will round out the top 5 in Gorsuch Performance Heat number 2.
Picking up the win in Gorsuch Performance Solutions Heat 2 out of Lebo, Kansas, the Yeoman-powered GRT race car sponsored by Hodges Brothers Racing, Prairie Land Partners, Hodges Farms and Dredging, MRSK Buildings, Murphy Ag, along with Flint Hills Towing, FMC, and Farm Bureau Financial Services, along with Wildcat Farms. It's Jake Hodges as we get now set for Beaver Stripes Heat 3. And on the pole, it'll be Tanner Cade out of Hermitage, Missouri in the 21X, and the 18 of J.C. Morton out of Springfield, Missouri.
Row number 2 on the inside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. It's Israel Ortega in the 23B on his outside. Out of Lebanon, Missouri, still looking for his first win of the week. He is the defending mini-series champion out of, as we said, Lebanon, Missouri. 45-time winner a year ago, Chris Jackson in the J2. Third row back on the inside out of Lowell, Arkansas. The 05 in is Jimmy Nicholas on his outside. It'll be Drew Paddock out of Kaufman, Texas in the 20D. Justin Garrett out of Deming, New Mexico inside row 4. He'll be flanked by the Jamestown, North Dakota driver Scott Bentz. Then it's Jesse Haney, Asa Flores making the trip in the 05. Chad Reed in the 58. Nick Rivera in the AOS. Keep your eyes on him. Ruben Ortega at the tail of the field in the 40. This is Beaver Striped Heat number 3, and it goes green off corner number 4.
Tanner Cade works down to the inside. He's had a fast car this week, DJ, but not a whole lot to show for it, as we're going to try that one again. Midwest sheet metal caution lights are out and are on, I should say, and we're going to rack them and stack them and try it again here at Beaver Stripes Heat 3. So somebody was asking, what is an X-Mod? Well, an X-Mod is a hybrid between the Wasota Midwest mods, the USRA-B mods, and some local packages they run out here in the desert. And it's basically more of an economy, more restricted modified than we'll see in a little bit later from the A-mods.
Toss a little bit of IMCA Sport Mod in that as well, and put them all in a blender, and that's what it spits out. It's actually started out with something that really and truly to accommodate drivers from all over the country at the Wild West Shootout. It has become a class itself in various regions of the country and down here, and they've really made a name for themselves as they get a full field of cars in this division just about each and every time they swing open the gates here at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park. They'll try again here in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone, and Beaver Stripes Heat Race number 3 is underway with Tanner Cade and J.C. Morton leading them off into 1 and 2. Not so fast, my friend.
Oh man, we're gonna be 0 for 2 on that. Let's see what survey says.
All right, that would look decent. Could have been someone, look decent at the front of the field at least. Maybe someone there towards the back of the field as well, getting a little out of line. So, is the naughty stick going to get shaken at someone?
Say it ain't so. You can't start the weekend with the naughty stick, can you?
That's Jason Rye, old Orange Shoes up there, can do whatever he wants. He is shaking it at the whole field, I think, and pointing it at the Rio Grande Waste Services flags, which, by the way, since they have been moved inside the racetrack and stuck inside those cones, nobody has obliterated them since the opening night.
Yeah, their lifespan's a little bit better than opening night when they were both. They met terrible, untimely fates as lights are down on the speedway, DJ. And this time, we mean it this time. I'm confident the C&D bonding green flag is going to stay out. Tanner Cade, J.C. Morton, a pair of Show Me State drivers on the front row here in New Mexico. And CD binding green flags out. We're underway. And much better start. They'll head off into turns 1 and 2. Down low is Cade. Up top is Morton. And Chris Jackson also is Show Me State Hustler. Hard to believe. We're in round 4 tonight, DJ. He has not been to Hoker Trucking Victory Lane yet. We'll see if Chris Jackson can change that here this evening.
This should be a fun heat race, man, because there's a lot of good cars scattered throughout the field in this one. There's 3 drivers up the front of the field, and then you're going to have Nick Rivera, the opening night winner, trying to work his way from the 12th starting spot and get as many passing points as he can. Jesse Haney, who picked up the win here on Wednesday evening, is in this heat race as well. Scott Bent's well documented what he's done in this class. So there are a lot of really good cars in this one. And right now, J.C. Morton is the one they're all chasing in the 18.
J.C. Morton leads the way from 4th to 2nd as Chris Jackson trying to get his first win of the week. Now, if you win tonight and your name is not J.C. Morton, Nick Rivera, or Jesse Haney, the Arizona differential by Nate is off the table for 4 or more wins. Those 3 drivers have each won one, but they got to win out to get that $2,500 bonus. The gentleman in 2nd, DJ, not only was he the Wild West Shootout champion last year, but he picked up that Arizona differential by Nate. 4 or more challenge, a $2,500 bonus for 4 wins. He's winless so far, though. We'll see if he can change that here tonight as we work lap 5 of this 8-lap affair in Beaver Stripes Heat 3.
Good point, Ben. All 3 feature winners so far are all in this same heat race. And oh, by the way, some guy named Chris Jackson that won 45 features 1 year ago and won the mini series a year ago as well. There's Asa Flores in that black and gold 05 on your screen. You see Asa able to work up and grab the 5th position. He started back in 10th, so he's getting some wholesale passing points as well. Vado Speedway Park regular in that entry.
J.C. Morton out just with 2 laps to go as he leads the way. He was your winner back on Sunday night. He's trying to repeat here tonight. He started outside front row. He will race back to the white flag out of turn number 4. Chris Jackson tried to get to him, but Jackson's running out of time as the white flag flies high atop this FK Rod ends Vado Speedway Park. Final time off into turns 1 and 2 in Beaver Stripes Heat 3.
A 1 second advantage for J.C. Morton and Chris Jackson. Not going to be close enough to pull the trigger in the crosshairs as they go through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And your winner here on Sunday night, J.C. Morton, gets the win in Beaver Stripes heat race number 3. Chris Jackson 2nd. What a loaded heat race. Tanner Cade 3rd. Great passing points for Asa Flores, who goes from 10th to 4th, and Israel Ortega rounds out the top 5.
Coming home in 3rd, Tanner Cade, the Hermitage, Missouri driver. 2nd will go to Lebanon, Missouri's Chris Jackson of a J2. And your winner in car number 18, he started 2nd, J.C. Morton out of Springfield, Missouri. The big-time Bell Bond, CPD Racing Shocks, Weir's Machine, Midwest Sheet Metal, Kaiser Manufacturing, VP Heartland, TNT Quick Shop, Yeoman-powered Bloodline race car for last year's Arrowhead Speedway Be My Track champion. DJ, it's time for Shocker Hitch heat race number 4.
Indeed it is. This will be the 4th and final heat race of the night for the X-Mod, starting on the pole of this one. Out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, defending late model track champion here at Vado Speedway Park, Josh Kane on his outside. Out of Emporia, Kansas, in the 5, Reese Solander.
Row number 2 is going to be Scott Morling out of Grants, New Mexico in the 24S, and Devin Jobin out of Alamogordo, New Mexico in the 81.
Donovan Flores in the 07, Mike Anderson in the 15A make up row 3. Then it's Connor Williams, Kyle Nanko, Christy Barnett, Colton Poland, Dusty Riggs, and Hector Barraza rounding out the field. 12 cars, 8 laps. This is Shocker Hitch heat race number 4, final heat race of the night for the X-Mods.
Another good one underway. Solander, winner in this event last year. He leads the way. Josh Kane, a 25-time winner last year, sits in 2nd. Couple of drivers. There's a lot of good drivers trying to get their first win of the year here tonight. And out of turn number 4, lap 1, a Shocker Hitch heat number 4. It's Reese Solander, the Kansas driver, leading the way.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Kane's 25 wins a year ago. We talked about him being the defending late model track champion. Consistency, the name of the game for the Rio Rancho, New Mexico driver. He had 68 top 10s in 81 races a year ago. Right now, he finds himself in the 2nd spot, and a solid run behind him from Muskogee, Oklahoma's Mike Anderson right now, who runs 3rd. That lead trio separated themselves just a little bit from the battle on your screen. That's the battle for 4th. It's the 07 of Donovan Flores. The 81 is Devin Jobin.
Well, Donovan Flores started back in 5th. He's up to 4th. Jobin trying to get into that 4th position, but he's got his hands full. Here comes Christy Barnett, the 44, and we got a spinner over in turn number 2. That will draw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution flag as cart number 27 in, scratch that, of Colton Poland out of Grants, New Mexico, draws the Midwest Sheet Metal caution. 2 down, 6 to go. Final Shocker Hitch X-Mod heat of the night presented by Border Tire, and out in front it's Reese Solander.
Is It's a very old Larry Shaw race car.
Like an 02, I think?
Yeah. I talked to Colton down there in the pit area briefly before the races, and I believe he told me it's a 2002 Larry Shaw race car underneath of him. So he's going to get that entry pointed back in the right direction. He'll rejoin the field at the tail.
And you see we got first couple of nights had some technical difficulties, but the track staff got the Rancho Milagro Top of the World Ranch Eagle Moon Jumbotron fixed over in turn 2, and I want to give a big shout out. Grandma Trudy's here tonight, and Trudy and Mr. Ed Healy, they do so much from Rancho Milagro, and of course out here watching their grandsons race tonight with Scott and the Scott brothers Stormy and Johnny. And so I want to thank Trudy and Ed for all they do, not only for our event and this racetrack, but racing in general. They do so much.
Yeah, and the video board was fine. The issue was that the
controller.
Yeah, the other motherboard got fried here. Yeah, so a big hat tip to Mikey Romero and Julian Herrera and everyone that helped get that back together as well. Shout out to Grandma Trudy and Ed Healy as well as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. 2 laps scored, 6 laps remaining in Shocker Hitch heat race number 4 for the X-Mods, and that dog won't hunt.
Now, there was a lot of hunting happening right there, and I think actually race control might not have been quite ready for that one. So we're going to roll them around one more time, get them ready, and see if we'll extinguish the Midwest Sheet Metal yellow lights. Indeed, we will. I think another modern X-Mod's pulling in. Hey, man, some people got to work.
Goodness.
Things happen, DJ.
That's right. Well, we do. We spent all day working from the house yesterday till about 11 o'clock last night.
Done.
And then we watched some great college basketball from the West Coast. Well, you weren't, but the rest of us did.
Out front, Reese Solander leads the way. Josh Kane falls back to third. How about Mike Anderson? Beautiful race car. That 15A out of Oklahoma moves up to second. Kane shuffled back to the third spot, but side by side for position 2 out of turn 4. Anderson's got it, and that'll push Kane back to third. And fourth it is Barnett, and Connor Williams up to 5th.
Yeah, Christy Barnett, who you just saw her flash on your screen, the defending track Super Truck champ. She started back in 9th, Ben, and so she's worked her way up into the 4th spot, gaining some wholesale passing points in the 44, and she may not be done yet. She's given Josh Kane all he can handle as she'll drive down to the inside of the defending late model track champion.
She may have that Super Truck engine in that race car because it's rolling tonight. She won 10 times last year en route to the track championship. Meanwhile, joining that battle now on the 47cc, that's Connor Williams, as we're finally getting some laps off the board in this one. 5 down, 3 to go, and out front it is Reese Solander over Mike Anderson, Josh Kane, Christy Barnett, and Connor Williams. Tell you what, Solander's got a race car tonight, DJ. This might be his night.
Yeah, we've talked about it all week long. He's been fast, just hasn't quite had the results that he's wanted or he's used to show for it. Right now, he finds himself at the front of the field. That's the good news. He started second. He's up front, so he's going to get passing points based on the one car that he passed and finishing first. Here's the bad news for Reese Solander, man. There's been a lot of movers and shakers in these heat races thus far, so we'll see exactly how that plays out for him. He's got one more lap to hang on here in Shocker Hitch heat race number 4.
He's going to move and shake one more time out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. A 1.3 second advantage over Mike Anderson off into 3 and 4. The winner of Shocker Heat race number 4 for the X-Mods here tonight. It's Reese Solander. Second will go to Mike Anderson. Third at the line, scored to Josh Kane. Fourth to Christy Barnett from 9th. And Connor Williams rounds out your top 5 in the 47cc.
So picking up the win here in Shocker Hitch X-Mod heat race number 4 will be the driver out of Emporia, Kansas, in that Yeoman Power J2 race car. The Hodges Brothers Racing, Hodges Farms and Dredging, Murphy Ag, FM Farm Bureau Financial Services, Wildcat Farm sponsored. Number 5, Reese Solander gets the win again in Shocker Hitch heat race number 4. And Ben, we will now shift gears to the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds.
As you punish those lineups from the X-Mods, just wad them up, throw them in the basket. Will you make it? Oh my God.
That is twice over the back.
Heat number 1, Weir's Machine. Heat number 1 will be Jacob Hopscheit out of Plattsmouth, Nebraska in the 0-1. And the 44, Christy Barnett. That's going to take a second. She's got to get back out there out of El Paso, Texas.
Row number 2 on the inside will be the driver out of Wichita, Kansas. That's Tanner Mullins in the 0-2, and is outside from Lebo, Kansas in the 7G, Gabe Hodges.
Row 3 will be the 71 of Philip Houston out of Odessa, Texas in the 97. A Cade Dillard, undefeated so far this week in the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro. Dillard will start outside of row 3 in car 97, and row 4 will be the D25 of David Tanner of Wichita Falls, Texas, and the 1T of Cameron Thomas. First time we've seen him this week, he comes to us out of Amarillo. Row 5 will be Alex Sharpenstein, also out of Amarillo in the 75, and Jay Sell out of Bethany, Oklahoma in the 64.
And your final 2 starters out of Woodward, Oklahoma. The 4R, Derek Ramirez, an opportunity to pick up some passing points for him, and on his outside it'll be Billy Wilker out of Idalou, Texas in the 71T. 12 cars. 8 laps, Trenton Berry and Weir's Machine Heat 1.
You guys want to hear about my team meeting now real quick?
I bet you're going to tell us.
Okay, so I said that Donnie should signal him about the time Cade got to third. Just signal him like this. Like he's wide open and got a good lead, so maybe Cade won't gas on it as hard.
That's one idea.
Okay, the second thing. This division runs on a 4-barrel carburetor, right? What better way to flex your muscle than to bolt on a 2-barrel and go win a heat race?
I like that idea.
Okay. Now, those two, I had a little bit of confrontation with both those, but the third one, now I feel like this was my best one. I don't know if they did though. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't.
Give the rest of the field a 1-lap advantage.
Well, so that. Okay, so I said, well, okay, when you're really going to need that dig, it's going to be feature time. We're going to really rely on those shocks. I said, let's go to the left rear and let's get a non-racing shock company out there. I think maybe like I said, like a Monroe shock, like something you'd put on a street car. Let's put a Monroe shock on the left rear of that race car when we really need to dig in, and that ought to slow you down a little bit. And I said that should take care of it. I'm not hoping that if you're going to win, you're going to win. We just need to spice up these features a little bit. None of them stuck. Donnie Peterson, unfortunately, said, we're not playing golf. He said, this is a video game that you can never win that we're out here doing. So,
well, I'll tell you what, those are some great ideas. But if you're watching at home and you have an idea as well, send those Trenton@racingdirt.com. Send him an email with your ideas on what to do with Cade Dillard again. Or just send him an email and tell him how much you love him, or ask him for a free Racing Dirt subscription. Again, it's Trenton@racingdirt, RACIN dirt.com.
Hey, why do we have to give all the email? It was good when it was just your guys' emails.
The game changes.
You can also give him a phone call as well if you like.
Oh, yeah. Hey, hit it right there.
417.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also excited. You talked about Donnie Peterson. Not only will myself, you, Dustin, Jared, Trent Berry be at the Dome in December, but Donnie Peterson's going to be there racing. And I think we roped Cade Dillard into it. He got so many likes on his post during that. So
well, I tell you what, the way Cade Dillard has started off this modified season, there's a very good chance he gets an invite on his own for the modified as well. Gabe Hodges there on your screen in the 7G. He had trouble. He was late getting out. They couldn't get the fire to stay going underneath the hood of that entry, and it looks like his heat race is going to come to an end before it even gets started. So he was scheduled to start this race outside row 2, and that will cross the field over, it looks like, as they do the crisscross applesauce down the front straightaway. And I don't know that they are all getting that message.
Meanwhile, we'll post in the press box. My wife has come back. She shot a social media feature down at the concession stand, and she's brought back deliciousness from down there. So if you're out in the grandstands, make sure to check out the food out there.
I send your wife a shout out. She got me a coffee this morning. I was unfunctionable until about 10 o'clock this morning when she brought me a coffee back. So Cheryl, thank you very much.
For the win.
Yeah, unfunctionable might have been underselling myself there.
Well, Jacob Hopscheid's going to have the whole shot off into 1 and 2. Christy Barnett, we just saw her in the last X-Mod heat. She's got her A-Mod out now. She'll lead the way. Hopscheid in second. It's a good battle from third on back. Philip Houston's back there. He's got Tanner Mullins and Cajun. Oh, no! Right in front of, and Barnett's going to get upside down. Dillard with nowhere to go gets into the side of the 44 car, and that went south in a hurry.
My goodness.
That was a hard hit up in turn 3 and 4. Derek Ramirez stopped up there as well, as we'll check on Christy Barnett as she got in there, dialed out that 44. Dillard ahead of steam, and he had nowhere to go, and he couldn't slow down.
Yeah, man, oh man. Red flag out on the speedway to check on Christy Barnett down there, as well as Cade Dillard also. That was a hard hit, and joke about ways about slowing down Cade Dillard. Certainly don't want to see that happen, though. One of the likable drivers in the pit area at any given racetrack that you pull into. And Christy Barnett, man, you just cannot say enough about her and her husband. Barnett's Harley Davidson. They over the years have done a lot of great things for racing as well. She has been a long time participant of the Wild West Shootout in both this division, as we just saw and has been mentioned, in the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire as well. This red flag flies without having scored a lap in Weir's Machine Heat Race number 1 for the mods.
And Christy Barnett is doing good up in turn number 4. As you see Cade Dillard pulling out of that race car mangled. And he's taking a look at Derek Ramirez's race car for him. And, man, you hate to see that for Cade. He's got an absolute hot rod in the desert, and you hope that thing did not get bent. Trenton, I see you're on the scene. What do you have?
Matt, I'm here. Kate's pretty disgusted. I don't know. What happened? It all happened so quick. I won't keep you very long here, but turn right around just a second if you would.
I probably won't say nothing nice, so I'll just not comment.
It's all good.
All right, well, sometimes less is more, DJ, so
and
tough break.
More importantly, I mean, again, now you start to wonder about his chances in that Weir's Machine 5 or more bonus. It's hard to tell what's going to happen tonight. He will still have 2 more chances, though. We do have a look at the FK Rod Ends instant replay.
Yeah, and we're going to see Christy Barnett get upside down. She just drove away from that incident. As you see her get in the corner and hooks the cushion, car snaps around, and Cade Dillard with nowhere to go and hard right front contact. And Christy Barnett goes over. Ramirez up there. You see Wilker able to somehow miss that deal and drive away.
The fact she's able to drive away, that is unbelievable. And she is, I don't believe, going to be able to continue as that car goes across the infield. But
well, it hit square in the door, so I think that was one reason she didn't have more damage she did. And you see Cade Dillard's CDR race car and a flat right front tire, and you got to believe quite a bit of damage on the right front of that race car.
Absolutely, and to that point, I mean, you talk about Cade getting her square in the door. Think about how hard of an impact that is to cause her car to do a complete rotation, get upside down, and then land back on all 4 wheels. That is. Oh man, that is quite the accident down there in turns 3 and 4. Damage you see on Alan Sharpenstein's number 75. And I tell you what, Tiffany, this is going to take another minute or so here to clean this up as they get Cade's car extracted from the racetrack. We'll use this opportunity to step aside here quickly. Thank some of the folks that make this broadcast a possibility. We'll be back here at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park, night number 4 of the Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout. We'll be back right after this. Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all the nation's top brands, including Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Poske.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park for the 18th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. They've got the accident site cleaned up down in turns 1 and 2. An unbelievably hard impact for Christy Barnett as well as Cade Dillard, and both of those drivers are out of the race. We have reshuffled the field. It's now going to be Jake Hopscheit and Tanner Mullins in row number 1. Philip Houston and David Tanner now, I believe, in row number 2. The Midwest Sheet Metal caution lights have been turned off, and they will go racing this time coming out of turn number 4. Again, 8 laps is the distance. This is Weir's Machine Heat Race number 1.
And the C&D bonding green flags out as they exit the Rio Grande Waste Services restart zone. And Tanner Mullins going to shoot to the lead, and he could really benefit from this one as he goes third to the lead down the back straightaway. Hopscheit in second. Back in the third spot, it's Philip Houston now to the inside of Hopscheit. Side-by-side battle for that spot. They'll race up the racetrack lap 1 to Mullins. Who's going to be second on lap 1? It's Hopscheit.
Yeah, Jake Hopscheit has a on a nose piece or a front bumper on the 71 of Philip Houston. And as those drivers on your screen, as they battle back there for second, third, fourth, and fifth, that's enabled Tanner Mullins just pull away from him. Mullins looking strong out front here tonight in the 0-2. 2 laps into this race, Ben, and he's already stretched out to a 2-second advantage.
Yeah, he's pulled away. Meanwhile, the guy that started 11th just went to 4th, and that's Derek Ramirez trying to get his first win of the mini-series, a 3-time winner last year and the Wild West Shootout champion in this Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mod Division presented by Rancho Milagro. Good battle for the second spot. That time at the line, Houston had it over Hopshite. Hopshite to the inside of Houston, and Houston will hold serve, but they better look out because Ramirez is coming in a hurry. Meanwhile, Tanner Mullins checked out, gone here in Weir's Machine Heat 1.
Yeah, Tanner Mullins looking really, really good in this one. Derek Ramirez wanting to find victory lane for the first time this week, and he may have an opportunity to start up near the front of the field. As you'd mentioned, Ben, he was 11th in the starting grid. He's worked his way up to 4th, and as you can see on your screen, may not be done yet. That's the best battle on the track. Hopshite wheel hops there just a little bit. That'll allow Ramirez to get a run down to the inside.
Ramirez will still be back in 4th by 100th of a second as Hopshite holds serve. Meanwhile, out front, Tanner Mullins a 3.8-second advantage over Philip Houston, and now just 2 laps remain here in Weir's Machine Heat Race number 1 tonight at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park.
It's nearly a full straightaway advantage for Tanner Mullins as that lead just continues to grow as he consistently is turning the best laps of anybody on the racetrack. There's a good look at the Wichita, Kansas driver in the 0-2. As you can see, nobody else even on your screens if you're watching at home on the final lap.
And Ramirez will go up to 3rd, 11th to 3rd. We'll see if Hopshite can get back to him. Meanwhile, Tanner Mullins 4.8 seconds out in front. Hoker Trucking checkered flag in the air, and winner of Weir's Machine Heat 1, Tanner Mullins.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
You gotta want it.
Wait for it. There it is. Philip Houston will cross the line in the second spot, some 5 seconds behind Mullins. Ramirez takes 3rd. Jake Hopshite 4th, and David Tanner rounds out the top 5.
From 11th to 3rd, Derek Ramirez and Weir's Machine Heat 1. Second will go to Philip Houston, and your winner, Tanner Mullins, out of Wichita, Kansas. The Mel Hamilton Ford Sand Line, Iron and Metal, Donna's Pool and Patio, PCC Signs and Graphics, Fuquay Trucking, Bergman Tax and Accounting, Mullins Powered Mullins Race Car, and he heads down for a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton.
So we're going to slide down here to the 0-2. He'll put his helmet over on the deck, get a quick word with Tanner Mullins. Boy, I think after all your nights practicing, you found your race car.
Oh, I don't know. Just a pretty decent starting spot there, and I don't know. We might have found a little something. We'll just see what we got. Been a hell of a week so far, so hell, I don't know. See what we got.
All righty, guys. That's Tanner Mullins down here.
A few words on that one as he picks up the win in Weir's Machine Heat 1. We get set now for Schaefer Royal Heat 2, and on the pole it'll be Casey Fowler out of Grand Saline, Texas in the 64 and the 65X of Carlos Amata Jr. out of El Paso.
Las Cruces native Johnny Scott going to start inside row 2 and the 1ST on his outside. From not anywhere near Las Cruces, Owensboro, Kentucky, it's Paul Miles in the 12.
Row 3 will be AJ Dean out of Elk Mountain, Wisconsin, 89, and the 24, Rick Ortega out of Las Cruces.
4th row back, track owner Royal Jones in the 131. He'll be flanked by the Muskogee, Oklahoma driver in the 88, Chad Wheeler.
And your final starters will be John Mitchell out of Texarkana and car 5 inside of row 5. It is outside CJ Halsey out of El Paso in the 77, and row 6, Chris Hennigan in the 16, and Gary Christian, the Oklahoma driver in car 58X.
This is Schaefer Royal Heat Race number 2. 8 laps in distance, top 16 out of these heats in passing points. Advance to the A main in the C&D bonding green flag waves, and that's Casey Fowler in the 64, Carlos Amata Jr. in the 65, battling up front for the lead. So they head off down the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Ben, at the end of lap number 1, Casey Fowler, who picked up his first ever heat race win here on Wednesday, finds himself at the front again.
The 64 leads the 65, leads the 12. That's your top 3 cars, and now Miles slips up off of turn number 2, and here comes the 1ST car of Johnny Scott as he'll come after Paul Miles for position number 3. Meanwhile, Chad Wheeler in the 88 car, he started back in 8th, and he's trying to work his way up to 4th, and he won't stop trying. He'll do it. He actually up to 5th as that moves Ortega back to 6th. Out front, though, Casey Fowler, if he teared up the other day when he won a heat race tonight, he's just going to be confident, DJ. He's definitely brought a good car to the desert.
The shout out right here to Paul Miles, man. He's doing a great job. The Owensboro, Kentucky native, holding his own out there against a solid field of cars. He maybe hasn't had the week that he's wanted to have. That's him on your screen. And just as we say that, Johnny Scott rather is going to drive by on the inside. Nonetheless, though, a solid run early in the going for Paul Miles, who now finds himself in fourth in a solid field of Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds.
Yeah, Johnny Scott in the G1 pushes that Baxter build of Paul Miles back to fourth, and now here comes the 88 of Wheeler trying to take the fifth spot, and I'll play it again, the fourth spot away from Miles. And we talked about it, Chad. We were starting back in eighth, trying to get those passing points out front. It is all Casey Fowler all the time. Carlos Amata Jr. rides 1.1 seconds back in second.
Meanwhile, behind them, that battle back there for position number 5 heating up once again. It's about to be a battle for position number 4 because Chris Hennigan, he just drove that car all the way to La Posta before he set it up. He's able to get it back under him, but he just got 2 for the price of 1, and we've got trouble on the front straightaway.
And Gary Christian and CJ Halsey, you're going to have to throw some water on those two as they're connected at the flag stand, and that'll draw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution. 6 laps down, 2 to go.
They are not connected now.
Yeah, didn't need any water for that one. The Schaefer Oil Heat Race number 2 under Midwest Sheet Metal caution. 2 laps remaining, and Casey Fowler probably didn't want to see that one. I say that, but man, he's been really solid. I mean, he's got his confidence up. And Trenton the other night, Casey got emotional talking to you after winning a heat race, and now it's like it's becoming common suit as he leads the way.
Man, it's awesome to see too. You know, that's one of my favorite things I love about doing this job is, you know, you try to have something interesting to say, a little funny sometimes if you can. Some days are better than others in that department, but to really get that up close glimpse of the emotion, and that meant a lot to Casey. They'd been working a long time at that. It was great to see. So he's able to obviously build on that. He had a good draw, which helps him. Now, we're going to assess this restart right here. Casey's restart's going to have to be perfect if he's going to win this race, because 2, 3, and 4 can go win anywhere in the country right behind him.
Absolutely, Trent. We'll quickly toss to an FK Rod Ends instant replay here and see what happened. Contact coming off the corner. Those 2 cars got hooked together. Nice job there by John Mitchell to miss. The field's line back up. 6 laps scored. 2 to go here in Schaefer Oil Heat Race number 2 for the Modifieds. That's Casey Fowler in the 64 out of Grand Saline, Texas. He's your leader over Carlos Amata Jr. and Johnny Scott once again 2 to go.
Johnny Scott back in third. We'll see if he can pick up any more ground. That Rancho Milagro 1 ST. Fowler leads the way. Amata in second. Scott getting ahead of steam. Hennigan back in fourth. Wheeler from 8th to 5th. DJ, they're going to see the white flag out of turn number 4. Final time around the speedway, and the battle's heating up for third.
Yeah, Chris Hennigan takes that spot away. He's got a fast hot rod here tonight, man. He started back in 11. He's got a ton of passing points. If he's able to keep Johnny Scott behind him, that could be easier said than done. Checkered flag in the air and getting a heat race win for the second straight race is going to be the 64 of Casey Fowler. Carlos Amata Jr. finishes second, and Chris Hennigan from 11th to 3rd in Schaefer Oil Heat Race number 2. Johnny Scott 4th, and Chad Wheeler rounds out the top 5. So 3rd spot goes to Hennigan, 2nd to Carlos Amata Jr., and there's your winner. He picks up a heat race win for the 2nd straight race in the mini-series out of Grand Saline, Texas, in the Texas Locomotive Solutions, Salt City Storage, Travis Graphics, Full Throttle Supply sponsored entry. How about it for Casey Fowler? We'll send it down to Trenton Berry for the Black Diamond Race Cars interview.
Become an old hat there for the 64, and just like that, his restart appeared to be perfect, boys, as he took the measure there of 3 race cars. Amata, Johnny Scott, and Chris Hennigan, who are right behind him as well as he works to get his helmet off. Real quick, we'll get him to kill the engine on the race car and let out a sigh of relief. Hey, I told everybody you didn't want that yellow because you'd have to have a perfect restart. You had a bunch of heat behind you there. What was going through your mind coming to that glass green?
I could feel them pushing me. I knew I had to get out and get it done on the first lap, or they was going to come around me. You know, there's a lot of talent, Carlos and Johnny Scott, and everybody's behind me. I knew I had to just go.
Man, going to be a whole new level of confidence there. The 64 Casey Fowler doing it 2 nights in a row. That's cool to see.
Yeah, another great Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Fowler. Well, really quick, here's your lineup for Mesilla Valley Transportation Heat 3. Row 1 will be Stephen Whitaker Jr. out of Corpus Christi, Texas in the 189. The J17 of Jake Garrett out of Las Cruces. Row 2 will be Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri in the 75, and the 27X of Calvin Iverson out of Oliva, Wisconsin. Row 3, the 33 of Jaron Martin out of Republic, Missouri, and Lewis Jackson, the 3J out of Edgerton, Kansas. Row 4, Lucas Ward out of El Paso, and Jake Bowles out of Alamogordo. Row 5 will be Gene Nicholas out of Lowell, Arkansas, and Chase Holland out of Success, Mississippi in the 45. In your back row, Carson Dish out of Marana, Arizona, and Nathan Smith out of Anthony, New Mexico in the 88.
This is Mesilla Valley Transportation Heat Race number 3. Great job, Ben. 8 laps the distance again, top 16 in passing points advance, and they get the C&D bonding green flag. And Terry Phillips from 3rd to 1st. Stephen Whitaker says not so fast, my friend. He's going to try to battle back on the outside. Jake Gallardo, the defending track champ at the J17, going to toss his hat in the ring as well. TP, your leader at the end of lap 1.
TP leads the way. He's got right now the 89 car right there with him of Whitaker. So he's got a fast race car. A Bloodline leads a CDR down the back straightaway, and a G2 sits back there in the 3rd spot. Scratch that. How about a G2 up into position number 2 as Jake Gallardo on the move, and nope. Whitaker says, watch this. He takes it back away from him as the GR2 race car of Gallardo works to the inside of a CDR race car, and they all chase the Bloodline down the back straightaway. DJ, one of my favorite things about this event, all the different chassis and engine builders you see out here.
Absolutely. That battle for second continues to rage on, as you see there on your screen, as Gallardo able to slip by Whitaker there. Whitaker, always with a sharp-looking white and bright orange race car, tries to battle back to the inside, but the Corpus Christi native unable to work his way by the Las Cruces driver. Again, Jake Gallardo, he's the defending track champion at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park. He's now settled into that 2nd spot. He's going to try to do something that not a lot of drivers are able to do, and that's reel in your race leader, Terry Phillips.
Terry Phillips started back in 3rd. He took the lead away from Stephen Whitaker Jr. when Whitaker washed up the racetrack down in 1 and 2. And right now, Gallardo trying to make up the gap. The lead was 1 second last time by. This time by 7/10 of a second. Gallardo with 3 laps. Can he get to your leader, Terry Phillips?
Jake Gallardo running a good, solid, smooth line here around this racetrack. He separated himself by about 4 or 5 car lengths over Stephen Whitaker. Terry Phillips has changed his line just a little as well as we look back on the battle for the 4th spot. That is Calvin Iverson of the 27X, Lewis Jackson in the 3, and the J7 Jake Bowles there as well, as back up the front of the field, not missing anything because that lead that was shrinking, it's kind of plateaued out a little bit at 7/10 of a second. White flag in the air, final time around for Terry Phillips. He's trying to hold off Jake Gallardo.
Final time down the back straightaway, the Mesilla Valley Transportation Heat 3. Gallardo going to drive it in deep into 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to get there? No, sir, he will not. Terry Phillips wins Mesilla Valley Transportation Heat 3.
Jake Gallardo crosses in 2nd. Stephen Whitaker Jr. finishes 3rd. 4th goes to Calvin Iverson. Lewis Jackson finishes 5th, followed by Jake Bowles, Nathan Smith, Chase Holland, Jaron Martin, and Lucas Ward rounds out the top 10.
Taking the win in Mesilla Valley Transportation Heat number 3 out of Springfield, Missouri. The Don Bab Motorsports, Andy's Frozen Custard, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Kaiser Manufacturing, Kenny's Tile, all offices of Presley Phillips, PP Racing Fuel, Central Gas Propane, Durham-powered Bloodline race car, the Hall of Famer Terry Phillips, and he's going to catch a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with our own Trenton Berry.
Been a little bit since I got to catch up with TP, the first heat race win of the week for the driver of the 75. As he's killed the engine of the race car, dropped the window net, going to get the helmet off here real quick, and we'll slide in there and figure out how he was able to go from 3rd to 1st and what he's got on his agenda here for the rest of the night as TP pulls that helmet off. Well, we've been out here a week. It's about the 2nd time I've had the chance to talk to you. How goes it in that heat race starting from 3rd?
They wasn't bad. We've been testing some stuff, and we found some broke stuff, so we had to go back to original. We could be better, but that's at least a better start. I haven't started off the 4th row and back yet, so that helps. So tune on this thing a little bit better, a little bit more, and hopefully get better.
All right, there he is, TP in the 75.
All right, thanks a lot, Trenton. This is Swift Springs Heat Race number 4. Mark Smith starting on the pole in the 2SS, the 60 of Dan Ebert on the outside. Row 2, Brayton Gress in the 55G, Ricardo Alagi Jr. in the 18 Junior, Jeremy Laco and Logan Drake in row 3, Peyton Gallardo, Xavier Ortega in row 4, then it's DJ Shannon, Fito Gallardo, Tyler Wolf, and Matthew Day. 12 cars, 8 laps, Swift Springs Heat number 4, fires in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone.
C&D bonding green flag is out on the speedway. Mark Smith looks at we're going to rack him and stack him again, and Olagi's going to go for a 4-wheel free slide up in 1 and 2. So the Midwest Sheet Metal caution was already out, so Olagi will retain a starting spot as Kelly Carlton not liking the start on that one, so we'll rack them and stack them and try it again.
I wish I would have known that before I hustled through the lineup as quickly as I did.
Yeah, but you know what? You got it done. That's what matters.
Thank
DJ.
you. I appreciate that. And you did well in the one before, my friend.
We did give it a shot. Well, Loggie's going to go back up there to his starting spot outside of row 2. We've got this one and one more. Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mod Heat presented by Rancho Milagro. And then we'll shift gears over to the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. 4 of those. As look at Old Glory in the infield. Looks like the wind has finally settled down. You know, it's windy during the day. Now, the other night, look, you could Toto and Dorothy and the Wicked Witch flew by. But as a rule, it seems like the wind's kind of died down once the sun goes down. And hopefully turn into a nice night out there at FK Rod-Ins Vado Speedway Park. Glad to have everybody with us.
Yeah, again, highs in the 60s the rest of the weekend. 62 tomorrow, and creeping into the upper 60s on Sunday for the finale as the green flag once again waves in Swift Springs Heat Race number 4. Mark Smith and Dan Ebert bring him down the front straightaway through turns 1 and 2. And Dan Ebert of Lakeshore, Minnesota, going to creep out front. Meanwhile, Logan Drake in that yellow number 111 trying to sneak around Mark Smith in the 2SS. He'll be unable to do so. Ebert leads lap number 1, and nice job.
Vito going for a 4-wheel free slide. He'll get it back together, but he'll lose a lot of ground as he falls to the back of the pack. Out front, Dan Ebert, 8-time winner last year. He leads the way in this one. Mark Smith's got his hands full with Logan Drake, and it seems like Logan Drake every night making gains. He started 6th in that 111. He's up to 3rd as we complete lap number 2 here in Swift Springs Heat Race number 4.
Dan Ebert with a 1.3 second advantage, and that was Ben Shelton that just gave Logan Drake the commentator's curse. As the Midwest Sheet Metal caution flag will fly. You have a very bad habit of doing that at this event in particular.
Trenton Berry, can you believe what Dustin Jarrett just did to Logan Drake? I am really just flabbergasted that he would do that to anybody.
Did you guys listen to my 3-minute spiel about Cade a little bit ago?
That is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not supposed to throw sand in your own face, but boy, that.
Well, I'm laughing because our producer, Tiffany Swisher, she said, we have a look at your caution bin. Look, I didn't spin out. Don't hang it on me. But Midwest Sheet Metal caution's out. Let's see why with an FK Rod-Ins instant replay. And off into 1 and 2. That was about the time that DJ was talking about him right here. Yeah. And boom, Logan Drake, the San Luis Obispo, California driver, parks it at the bottom of 1 and 2.
Trenton, remind me to tell you here sometime about the time that he cursed Jason Vandekamp at Arizona Speedway as well. Yeah, I believe Ben's exact words were he could coast to the finish, and when the engine broke, Ben then said he may have to.
Ben, we're teaming up right here. In 3 years, you've never given me grief about Adrian, Missouri.
You're right.
I'm rolling with Shelton on this one.
Thank you very much, Trent. And to be fair, Vandenberg did coast to the finish. He just didn't win. So,
that is true. 2 laps down, 6 laps goes. The same night, one driver wanted a little more TV time, and he got it as well. 2 down, 6 to go here in Swift Springs Heat Race number 4. Dan Ebert is your leader in the 60. Ricardo Alagi Jr. going to move that 18 into second spot. He was pretty solid here on Wednesday.
Oh, boy. That's going to end bad right there. Oh, how did they all miss him except for DJ Shannon? I really thought we saw the 24-car of Ortega coming up through there, and I thought he was about to clean up that 18 of Olagi, and unfortunately, DJ Shannon not able to miss it, but man, chaos reigning supreme here in Swift Springs Heat Race 4 of 5.
Let's serve me right there, Trent.
Man, I don't know what the perception is. Like, everybody's going fast, but when they're all the same speed and going, you're just like, okay, yeah, that's normal. You see one of them sideways, and I swear to you, it's like the rest of the field's coming 200 miles an hour right into the turn.
Well, the racetrack, and I know, Trent, you're down there watching from the infield, obviously, is warp speed here tonight. I mean, this is a very fast racetrack. It's cool. It's got juice to it. And to your point, it just takes one of them to slow down a little bit, and you realize how fast everybody's going.
Man, you know, we had kind of a gnarly cushion there through a lot of the night on Wednesday, and it's starting to build in both the corners as well. Really about the only spot that I can tell, not even the entry to 1 so much, but kind of that entry to 3 is the only part where the racetrack's starting to change colors a little bit. The rest of it is all kinds of traction.
Well, thank you very much, Trenton, from down there. And also, Trenton's hanging out a combination of Hoker Trucking Victory Lane and Mary's Home Furnishing Hot Pit area, along with the Winning Edge Carburation Scales. Here's our FK Rod-Ins instant replay. And, man, Smith just shot off in there, and I think maybe caught Olagi off guard. And I thought Ortega was going to clean him up. Somehow he got by. DJ Shannon not so lucky. As the Midwest Sheet Metal yellow lights are being extinguished, we are doubling them up. Delaware double file restart, and Mark Smith wants the inside of row 2. And now to his outside, it's going to be Braden Gress. And Gress in this one started 3rd. He lost some spots early, DJ, but now he'll find himself back into a podium spot after that melee.
Absolutely. Again, Midwest Sheet Metal caution lights turned off. We'll go back to Green flag racing this time in that Rio Grande Way Services restart zone. 2 laps are in the books, 6 laps to go. Dan Ebert leads, and they fire really early over in turn number 3, and we will stay green.
As the 60 of Ebert leads the way, and now he's got company, Mark Smith. Mark Smith got to the inside of Olagi. Can he get to the inside of Ebert as they come around and complete lap number 3? And right now, Ebert leads away. Leaves that bottom open, though, DJ. We'll keep an eye if Mark Smith can get up through there. Meanwhile, from third on back, it is a hornet's nest as now Ortega on the move of the Xavier variety. He's in third, or trying to take third away from Braden Gress. Gress will drop back away around him out of turn 2.
Shout out to Mark Smith, who's run a really good race here thus far in that second spot. And someone was reading my mind. I was just thinking, I would love to see us double box this, and we do.
We are.
That is your race leader, Dan Ebert, on the left side of your screen, and on the right side of your screen, pretty much the rest of the field, as they will fall under the Midwest Sheet Metal caution as Logan Drake is pointed in the wrong direction over in turn number 4.
And Midwest Sheet Metal caution back out, and Logan Drake went from really good to really bad in this one as he will draw the second unassisted Midwest Sheet Metal caution up in turn 4.
111 reminds me, happy birthday to my Miami Dolphins buddy Max Blair today.
Tomorrow they play in negative 70-degree weather against Trenton
gosh.
Berry's Kansas City Chiefs.
Can you imagine? I mean, that is not going to be fun for anybody, and I'm as big a Dolphins fan as anyone in the world. I am very concerned about tomorrow's game. I mean, that is Trenton. Don't know how much you could get for your Kansas City Chiefs ticket tomorrow night.
Man, my Facebook feed, they're dropping like flies. DJ, it would cost you and I more to fly out there tomorrow than it would be to pick up a last-minute ticket.
You know what, though? We should try it. I think that I would actually enjoy seeing Ben handle the broadcast all on his own. I think he could do it.
That wouldn't be fair.
We have many talents.
DJ.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of confidence in my team right now.
Well, I don't have a lot of confidence in mine either after what happened last week when they played Buffalo, but we'll see. We'll have that on up here on Peacock. We'll have the Chili Bowl on. And, of course, this event as well, 4 down, 4 to go here in Swift Springs Heat number 4. And we'll try to wrap this one up. It's Dan Ebert on the point, Mark Smith second, and they are still going at it back there from third on back, Ben.
Yeah, from third on back, Tyler Wolf up to third. Gress will fall back to fourth. Olagi in fifth. Now he's got company. Jeremy Locote in the 75. The right side of your screen will shoot up in position number 5. So we complete lap number 5, and out front it's car 60. Hang on, as it's getting crazy back in the back. We'll stay clean and green, though. Well, we don't stay clean, but we stay green. Is out front, Ebert's got company. Here comes Mark Smith.
Yeah, and behind them, look at Ricardo Olagi, who's worked his way from the tail of the field up there to battle for the 4th position. Again, this happens behind your race leaders, Dan Ebert and Mark Smith. 2 laps to go. Tyler Wolf has kind of shaken himself free from this battle. He's in third. And Ricardo Olagi just threw an elbow off the top rope on Braden Gress down there. And that'll actually cost Olagi as he slides up the racetrack. White flag out, final time around for your leader, Dan Ebert.
Dan Ebert at the line, 6/10 of a second over Mark Smith. And it's about half a straightaway back to third where Tyler Wolf's at as they work out a 2 down the back straightaway, coming around to the checkered flag in Swift Springs Heat 4.
And Ricardo Olagi's threw an elbow on the outside wall down in turns 3 and 4. Hooker Trucking checkered flag waves. Ebert's going to get the win. Mark Smith second, Tyler Wolf third. That battle for 4th comes down to the line. Give it to Braden Gress over Fito Gallardo, and Olagi is sitting against the Las Cruces concrete coming off turn number 2.
Coming home in third, Tyler Wolf in the 4W. He started back in 11th. Second to Mark Smith. He started on the pole. And your winner, Dan Ebert. He started outside front row out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. The Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Country Pride Excavating, Amsoil, Ryan Benjamin Realty, Iron City Construction, Shaw Trucking, Shocker Hitch, Peterson Farm, and Country Cat. All sponsors on the Pro Power Racing Engine Mullins chassis for Dan Ebert. 8 wins last year. Tonight, Trenton, will this be win number 1?
So Dan Ebert won a heat race on the opening night here just almost a week ago. We'll slide in here and get a quick word with him. I was texting with your car owner a little bit earlier. He was pumped, and I'm sure he's probably running circles around the house right now to see his driver get him another Votto win.
Yeah, it'd be sweet if we could get one pulled off here while the whole team's here. We've been close all week. Just got to work on balance a little bit. I'm too stuck and plow across the center at times. So we're close. Hate to see the 97 car go out early. I hope they can get it fixed because obviously he's the mark and we're going after him.
There he is, Dan Ebert in the 60. I like the confidence.
I love that he wants to beat the best guy in the pit area. Much respect. Shocks by Hammer, heat race number 5. And on the pole, it'll be Imperial California's Lance Murray in the 19 SB into his outside Duke Erickson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota in the 57. Row 2 will be Cody Tanqueray out of Kannapolis, North Carolina in the 37T, and the 65 of Tyler Davis out of Hayesville, Kansas.
Thank you. It turns out the microphone works better when you turn it on. Row 3 on the inside, Dustin Hennigan out of Marshall, Texas in the 16. Jake O'Neill out of Tucson, Arizona in the 0. Row number 4, it'll be Noah Daspit out of Kiln, Mississippi in the 34, and he'll be flanked by another first-timer out of Amarillo, Texas in the 2X. That is Gene Weaver.
Your final 3 starters in the final heat race of the night for the mods. It'll be Jimmy Ray out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 9R, and the 69 of Lucas Schott out of Chatfield, Minnesota, and on the back row, all by his lonesome, John Neal Reed out of Loving, New Mexico. This is Shocks by Hammer, presented by Brian Deedy and the gang. Heat 5 for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods, presented by Rancho Milagro. C&D Bonding green flag is out. We are underway.
Lance Murray and Duke Erickson on the front row. Roll them off into turns 1 and 2. Erickson with an initial hole shot, and he'll hold it. Coming off turn number 2 down the back straightaway, Tyler Davis going to slide up into that second spot and take it away from Lance Murray. And keep your eyes on the 0 of Jake O'Neill. And we've got trouble near the back of the field as Daspit and John Neal Reed have come together, and yes, that will draw a Midwest sheet metal caution as they are unable to get up from the or get off the high side of the speedway. Ben, 1 lap down, 7 to go.
Trenton?
Yeah, so Daspit was able to slide up in front of Reed right there, but Reed was never able to get off the back of the bumper there and get turned down, so that's a cause for the caution.
All right, I believe we have an FK Rod-Ins instant replay of the skirmish up there in turn number 3. And let's see what happened. Let's see if... Oh, that was so fast. I blinked, missed it.
That was faster than the rundown earlier in the evening.
That we had 3.5 seconds to do. Tiffany's playing games with us tonight. All right. All right.
All right.
I do like the honesty from the production earlier. We have no idea what just happened. I salute the honesty. As Daspit heading up there, and yeah, Trenton called that one.
Yeah.
As he and John Neal Reed just get together and can't get off each other, and they head to the concrete.
Well, we'll get them lined back up. We did get a lap in, as you'd mentioned, Ben, so 1 is scored, and 8 laps to go. I said 3 laps to go for some reason. 7 to go in an 8-lap heat race. We'll try that.
Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
Listen, it was a while before I got coffee this morning. Again, thank you to your lovely wife for taking care of that. Because
I feel like you're blaming her for the delay in coffee.
No. I'm thanking her. Otherwise, I may not even be here. You saw how grumpy I was the first couple hours this morning.
No comment. All right, we're coming back to the C&D Bonding green flag and the Rio Grande Way Services start zone. We are back underway. South Dakota's Duke Erickson leads the way, and he's got company, though, as California's Lance Murray power slide to the top of the racetrack. It's a drag race out of 2 down the back straightaway. Who's going to lead lap 2?
Murray didn't get a good jump on that initial start and actually fell back a couple spots, but he's found something here on the top side of the racetrack. Murray going to roll out front and grab that lead from Duke Erickson at the end of lap number 2. They're side by side on your screen for the 3rd spot. That's Tyler Davis, the 2-time and reigning USRA champ. Dustin Hennigan having his best run of the week thus far in the 16. And again, keep your eyes on Jake O'Neill. He went from 17th to 3rd his first night out on Wednesday in the modified. Right now, he currently is battling Hennigan for position number 4.
Jake O'Neill starting 6th in this one, falling back a little bit early, trying to get his feet back under him as he comes after Dustin Hennigan for position number 4. Out front, though, it's all Lance Murray, 2-time winner last year. As Jake O'Neill, you see it on your screen, he will shoot up to the 4th position, and he sets his sights now on Tyler Davis, Duke Erickson in front of him, and they're all trying to get to Lance Murray, who is gone early in this one. Say early, we come around to complete lap 5 of this 8-lap affair.
Yeah, good racing there from second on back. As you see the advantage Murray has, it's about 1.5 seconds over the rest of the field. Duke Erickson in 2nd, Tyler Davis in 3rd, Jake O'Neill in 4th. That's those 3 drivers on your screen. Duke Erickson in that 57, a 3-time winner a year ago. The 65 is Tyler Davis, and of course Jake O'Neill in his familiar number 0. 2 laps remaining in this one. Lance Murray picking them up and putting them away. He stretched out to a 1.8 second advantage.
Best battle, the one on your screen. Duke Erickson on the left side has 2nd. That's side by side for 3rd between Tyler Davis and Jake O'Neill as they come around to the white flag. Final time around the speedway, and it's all Lance Murray. Oh my goodness, things are getting good back there for 3rd as Jake O'Neill will get it away from Tyler Davis.
And Jake O'Neill takes that spot away as again he moves to the podium. Tyler Davis shuffled back to 4th. Checkered flag in the air as they come off corner number 4. The winner of Shocks by Hammer heat race number 5 is going to be Lance Murray. Duke Erickson finishes 2nd. Jake O'Neill 3rd. Tyler Davis 4th. Dustin Hennigan 5th. And it'll be Lucas Schott, Jimmy Ray, Gene Weaver, And Cody Tanquary will be credited with the 9th position.
Coming home third out of South Dakota, Duke Erickson in the 57. Third will be Jake O'Neill, who started back in 6th from Tucson. Second will be South Dakota's Duke Erickson, 2 for 2 over there. And Lance Murray in the 19 SB out of Imperial, California. The Murray Brothers Incorporated, M&M Paint and Fabrication, J&M Custom Autos, Sun Landscapes, Bulletproof Tees, Durham-powered MRT race car. 2 wins last year. He'll go after his first one of the year here tonight. But first, a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton.
Lance Murray taking the driving gloves off. He's killed the engine, dropped the window net. Going to take the helmet off the melon here real quick, and we'll get a quick word with him. Man, you were fast Wednesday night right out of the gate in hot laps, and nice to see you turn that speed into a heat race win. How'd your car feel?
Yeah, it's better. I don't know what me and Blaze are doing wrong, but I cannot take off on the start. If I was a turtle and a hare, like I don't even know what that went on right there, but obviously I needed a lap to get my crap together, right?
You're stuck in low gear, is that what you're saying?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the gray hair's getting to me, I don't know.
Hey, I appreciate your time, buddy. Best of luck to you. Let me hand you that helmet back before you get set to roll to the scales.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, hot take there, DJ. The turtle and the hare. I don't know who he wanted to be, the turtle, the hare, but Trent, it wasn't working either way. That's what he was saying, right?
No, well, it wasn't working so much so that he won the race, though.
He did win the race.
He's pretty good, man. Lance a great dude. Good personality. I love talking to him.
I love his attitude as we get set down for Rancho Milagro Dirt Track Bank Super Late Model Heat 1 presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. On the pole, it'll be tonight's Swift Springs Fast Qualifier. Garrett Alverson out of Las Cruces in the 58. Into his outside new arrival today, Brandon Shepard in the B5 from New Berlin, Illinois.
Row 2 on the inside out of Winfield, Tennessee. It's the Winfield Warrior, Mike Marler on the Skyline Motorsports 157 on his outside. Out of Las Cruces in the 2S, it's Stormy Scott.
Row 3 will be Justin Duty out of Malina, Oregon in the 15. And the 86 of Kyle Beard out of Truman, Arkansas.
Mobag's Morgan Bagley in the 14M starts 7th, and on his outside out of Bridge City, Texas in the 10, that's Caden Honeycutt.
Row number 5 is Steve Stoltz out of Peoria, Arizona in the 78, and Clayton Stuckey out of Shreveport in the 15. Your final starter, Walton Kyle Jr. out of Las Cruces in the 250. 11 cars going at it in this one. Top 4 move off to the main event. This is heat race number 1 presented by Rancho Milagro. DJ, they win them side by side as they enter the Rio Grande Way Services start zone down at turn 4.
All right, we come off corner number 4, and there's a good look at the Dave Poskey's Performance Parts speed shot as they roll by the front straightaway. Garrett Alberson going to slide up in front of Sheppy over in turns 1 and 2.
And here comes Marler. 3 cars going for the lead down the back straightaway. Off into turns 3 and 4. Hang on, they hit the whoop-de-doo. A little bit of 4-wheel free slide. And lap number 1 to Garrett Alberson. Shepard in 2nd. Marler 3rd. Scott in 4th.
Here comes Brandon Shepard back down to the inside of Garrett Alberson. A good battle for the lead in this first Rancho Milagro heat race for the late models behind them. Mike Marler slips up a little bit, coming off turn number 2, and that opens up the door for Stormy Scott. And man, these guys are going at warp speed here tonight at Vado.
Right now, Alberson leads the way. Sheppy's turning up the wick. He went to Florida down there to test for Speed Weeks. Rained every single day out, so he missed the first 3 days for nothing out here. Right now, he's making up for lost time, though, to the inside of Alberson. Who's going to lead lap number 3? Alberson says, hey, man, this is my house. He leads the way with 3 down, 5 to go.
Garrett Alberson turned the quickest lap of anybody in Swift Springs Time Trials presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze a little earlier this evening. The first dirt late model driver to dip into the 13-second bracket this week, and he wants nothing more than to parlay that into a win here tonight and put himself back in the Gorsuch Performance redraw, or the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole Award. I think we got it all in right there, and he is tiptoed away by a couple car lengths over Brandon Shepard. Been 3 laps to go in this first heat.
Yeah, 9/10 of a second right now. The advantage for Garrett Alberson. Shepard sits back in 2nd, Marler in 3rd, Stormy Scott in 4th, and it's an eternity back to your 5th place runner of Justin Duty, Morgan Bagley behind them. DJ, 2 flags in there, 2 more times around the speedway here in Rancho Milagro Heat Race 1, and it's all Garrett Alberson.
Man, that is a wild battle back there that you just saw on your screen for about 6th on back, and that is a wild little whoop-de-doo, as you called it. Getting into turn number 3, white flag in the air. Final time around for Garrett Alberson. There you see the advantage. He has 1.3 seconds over Brandon Shepard. Ben, they head down the back straightaway for the final time.
Final time, he'll close in on the lap car. Walton Kyle Jr. Alberson will tiptoe to his outside. The winner of Rancho Milagro Heat Race number 1, Las Cruces on. Garrett Alberson coming home in 2nd. It'll be Brandon Shepard 3rd. It will be Mike Marler in 4th to Stormy Scott. That's how they'll come across. Justin Duty, Morgan Bagley, Clayton Stuckey, Caden Honeycutt. Everybody else will head off to a B main here tonight. Picking up the win on Rancho Milagro, Heat 1 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, Garrett Alberson in car 58, the Bill's Sports Shop, Romer Machine and Welding, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Midwest Sheet Metal, Sunoco, Lucas Oil, Mitchell Ranch, Burt by Buddha, Swift Springs, all sponsors on that Capital Race decals. Clements Powered Longhorn, as DJ Alberson's been fast to start the week, as tonight, the night he gets win number 2, he's going to head down for a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton Berry, and then he'll head off to the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole Award. Trenton, down to you.
Alberson rolling in here to a stop in the MVT Roberts Motorsports Romer Machine Welding number 58. He'll kill the engine on the race car. Showing that 13.8 was no fluke right there. Alberson winning the heat race. We'll let him get his helmet off here real quick and get a quick word with him down here before we get set to go for the second heat race. And Garrett Alberson, they talked about Ben and DJ. We all kind of noticed it looked like he almost went into kind of a four-wheel free slide on lap 1, entering turn 3. How hairy was that, and what did you feel?
Yeah, I didn't do a great job in that first lap there. I knew I needed to be aggressive with Shep, but he's such a good racer there. But I think I kind of overdid it a little bit, and it just she kind of went all over the place. So luckily we had a good car, and I was able to keep the track position, and hopefully we can put it all together.
Reeled it all back in and won the heat race, and nothing like Brandon Shepard giving you a little pressure.
Yeah, Dirt Drag Bank heat race number 2. And on the pole, it'll be Shannon Babb, third back on Wednesday out of Moequia, Illinois, in car 18. And the 19 at Dustin Sorensen, fourth on Wednesday out of Rochester, Minnesota.
Fresh off a top 5 run here on Wednesday, Coos Bay, Oregon's Preston Luckman starts inside row 2 on his outside out of Winona, Minnesota. The 49T is Jake Tim.
Row 3, Sam Mars out of Menominee, Wisconsin, the 28M, and the 82 of Ian Whistler out of Otis, Oregon.
Fourth row back, John Kirby in the 11 out of Russellville, Arkansas, and Tomas Hunziker in the 38. Your final starters, Ben, will be Sean DeForest in the 4, Terry Carter in the 16. And Brad Couch, he's able to answer the call in the 5C, 11 cars running 8 laps. Top 4 advance to tonight's A main. This is Dirt Track Bank Heat Race number 2.
Sandy Bondi green flag is out as the drone chases him down the front straightaway off into turn number 1. And out front, it'll be Shannon Babb. And 3 wide from his second spot. Sorensen's got it, but here comes Tim, and here comes Luckman as Tim will inch ahead. Man, I tell you what, it is a little tricky getting into turns 3 and 4. Lap 1 to Babb, second Tim, Luckman in third. Good battle for second on back.
And Dustin Sorensen right there as well. Sorensen and Tim, of course, a pair of former US MTS and modified standouts up there in Minnesota right now. They've got Preston Luckman in between them. It's just we say that. Tim going to slide up the racetrack off the corner, open up the door for Luckman. That time by at the stripe. I don't know that Preston Luckman's transponder is picking up on our screen, and that's why you don't see his name listed there across the top of the leaderboard.
Well, now it becomes fun for the hand scores. Is out of turn number 4, Shannon Babb leads lap number 3, second this time at the line. That'll be Jake Tim for sure. Luckman in third, Sorensen in fourth. Mars rides back in fifth, and he battles with Whistler and Kirby. Out front, though, Shannon Babb starting to figure this racetrack out, DJ.
Yeah, Shannon Babb looking really, really good out here. And to the point Trent Berry made earlier, said he and really everyone that has come out here for the first time said, man, they love it out here. They love the sights. They love the scenery, they love the racetrack, and that's what we certainly like to hear. Is there is just an absolute dogfight going on for positions 2, 3, and 4 as that now comes into your living room. Preston Luckman going to finally take sole possession of that spot, but I don't know that they're done swapping positions there. Luckman in the 77, Tim in the 49, and Sorensen in the 19.
Yeah, and right now, Jake Tim got a little bit of a handful getting into one. He hit the bump, and that opened the door for Dustin Sorensen to close in on him. Shannon Babb gone in this one with just 2 laps to go. In fact, his advantage is 2.9 seconds. It'll be a little bit less than that. That's Jake Tim. Luckman's transponder not picking up, but 2.5 seconds roughly. DJ is out of turn 4. We're not going to see the white flag because the Midwest Sheet Metal caution is on the speedway because of something. I think we got some debris somewhere on
we
the
got some right here. We got a race car 4 into the wall.
Nope, there we go. Could not see it. Yeah,
Sean
right up against the concrete. Thank you, Trent.
Sean DeForest, guys, the Livermore, California driver. I talked to Sean briefly back in the pit area a little earlier and said, man, they said they were chasing their tails trying to figure out what was wrong with that race car. They've been here every night, and they had issues that did not allow them to get that race car on the track the first 2 nights. And he said, we finally got things figured out. He said, you know what? He said, I'm just out here to have fun. He said, I know that I'm not one of the fastest cars here. He said, but it's been about 3 years since I've been behind the wheel of a super late model. He said, and it's like a dream for me to come out here and race against guys like Mike Marlar and Bobby Pierce and Tyler Urban, Brandon Shepard. He said, man, he said, I'm just having the time of my life so far, and unfortunately it looks like his night might come to an early end here in Dirt Track Bank Heat number 2.
Yeah, they're popping the hood off of that number 4 car. FK Rodden's instant replay from the Posky Speed Cam, and hello all. As you see him get in there, once you get in, knock that right front out, and you can't drive off of it, obviously.
And I almost wonder if he had broke something before that as well, the way that car kind of skidded to the outside of the racetrack. I guess we will not know, as the wrecker crew will get him extracted from the speedway, hopefully here quickly. And we have got 6 laps down, just 2 laps shy of a finish in this one. That will erase a 2.5-second advantage that Shannon Babb had over Preston Luckman.
Shannon Babb's got a hot ride here tonight. He said, he regretted back on Wednesday, didn't race Pierce a little bit harder for the lead when he did. He didn't realize how good his car was, and tonight tried to pick up his 2nd heat race win in as many tries here in the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Model Division presented by Black Diamond Race Cars, and they are just flipping them left and right at the Chili Bowl right now.
Sure
so we'll get DeForest off the racetrack. He is on the hook, so we should be going back to green flag momentarily. 2 more late model heats after this, and then we'll shift gears and move back into B-main action for everybody. DJ, tomorrow and Sunday, gates open at 3, grandstand gates that is, and racing action at 3:30, both tomorrow and Sunday. And of course, Sunday night, the Rio Grande Way Services 50 presented by Shaw Trucking. $26,000 to win with that $1,000 addition from Carl Cash and Carl Chevrolet. We want to thank those great folks for their support, adding $1,000 to the winner's check every night here in the desert.
Sorry, I was watching the Chili Bowl. Oh, baby. That was a wild one for sure.
There's not many places where we're lucky enough to go announce, DJ, where we have 10 TVs in the press box, but we have got a smorgasbord. We have our broadcast, we have the Chili Bowl. There'll be some football by the time tomorrow rolls around. Right now, though, we have got Midwest Sheet Metal yellow lights down on the speedway, and Shannon Babb trying to take that toy boat number 18 to the win in this one.
I want to see this contest, by the way. And
Finley
Emily Babb called you out on Facebook as well. She called you out on Facebook.
She did. I love it.
My money's on the kids.
And we talked about the night. Shannon Babb's daughters have challenged me to a toy boat contest where who can say it the most times in a row without messing up. I know they're going to beat me, but I'm going to be ready. As the C&D bonding green flag's back out, DJ.
I am not even entering because my tongue twists over my brain more times than I care to mention. Shannon Babb, like a rocket ship, immediately, as you see on your screen, puts a few car links between himself and Preston Luckman, coming around this time to the white flag. Although Babb drifts a little high coming off the corner, he may leave the door open for Luckman here with 1 to go.
Preston Luckman has got faster and faster as the week's gone along so far. He's running out of time in this one, but runs 2nd down the back straightaway. Final time into 3 and 4.
They head off into turns 3 and 4. Luckman going to give it one last-ditch effort. He momentarily pulls alongside Babb. Babb, though, with the preferred line, going to get the win here in Dirt Track Bank. Heat race number 2. Luckman finishes in the 2nd spot. Jake Tim grabs 3rd. Dustin Sorensen takes home that all-important 4th and final transfer spot.
Taking the win at Dirt Track Bank Heat Race number 2 out of Moweaqua, Illinois. The Petroff Towing, Donnelly Trucking, Dynagrow Seeds, CJI Piping, Keebler Ultra Oil, Getty Landscaping, VP Racing Fuels, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for Shannon Babb, a 2-time winner, and he's down for a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton.
Babb's got the helmet undone. We'll slide up in here and get a quick word with him. Shannon, I want to talk to you about entering turn 3. It looked like when you were stretched your lead out, it was smoother at the top, but maybe it was not quite as fast as where there was a little character down low. Is that right?
I'm not sure. It's so wide down there that it felt good to me everywhere. So I just kind of went through the middle, kept my momentum up, and felt like the car held really good grip. I was impressed. This thing's a ball to drive. These guys have been helping me out here at this Longhorn chassis, and man, it's like I told them, it put a little spark back in me. I'm glad to be out here driving, not sitting on the couch.
There it is, Shannon Babb. Ben and DJ, I kind of like the smile and the swagger right there, so let's let him not redraw the front row so I can take him to win tonight.
All right, well, we're going to see what he can do, and I tell you what, Shannon Babb just said to get to the desert. This is spring training for dirt track racing. As we're setting down for Penske Shocks Heat 3, your front row will be Cade Dillard out of Roebling, Louisiana in the 9th.
Another one of those strong Oregon cars. It's Bryson James from Albany, Oregon in the 13, and Bossier City, Louisiana's B.J. Robinson in the 1.
Row 3 will be Forge Trent in the 101 out of Morristown, Tennessee, and the 42S of Don Shaw out of Ham Lake, Minnesota.
Cody Laney starts inside row 4 in the 32B. He'll be flanked by the Brian Doherty Racing 73 of Rodney Sanders.
Row 5, Mikey Kyle out of Westlake, Louisiana, the 25, the 02 of Kent Rosevear out of Yuma, Arizona, and Chance Man out of Newport, Arkansas in the 88. 11 cars, 8 laps, top 4 move on. This is Penske Shocks Heat number 3.
Again, Cade Dillard and Drake Troutman in row number 1. They will fire in the Rio Grande Way Services starting zone. And Penske Shocks Heat race number 3 is green, side by side, off into turns 1 and 2. And Dillard slides way up the racetrack. That allows Troutman to get the early advantage, but a good start for B.J. Robinson as Troutman hits the bump down in turns 1 and 2. At the end of lap number 1, he'll lead B.J. Robinson, though, right there.
Last time by, how did Cade Dillard save that one? That one went from the bottom, slid all the way to the fence. Meanwhile, B.J. Robinson right now with his best run of the week so far. Drake Troutman was a winner back on Wednesday, and Troutman now's got company. Here comes B.J. Robinson, that brand new Black Diamond race car, and you got a new leader with 2 down, 6 to go.
Yeah, Drake Troutman going to try to drive back down to the inside in turns 1 and 2. He's got momentum down the back straightaway. This is a good race here in Penske Shocks Heat Race number 3, and man, oh man, it is a wild watching those guys barrel off into corner number 3. Troutman going to retake the lead. Robinson second, and I'm not so sure that Cade Dillard doesn't win this one. He fell back to third. Now he's starting to rally around the outside. Robinson back down to the bottom.
This is what you expect out of Votto right here. 3 cars going for the lead off turn 4, completing lap 4. B.J. Robinson will retake the lead. Troutman in second. Dillard's right there, DJ. 4 laps to decide Penske Shocks Heat 3.
Votto Speedway Park, you are not letting us down. Those 3 drivers, you could toss a blanket over them. B.J. Robinson looking for his first ever win in the Wild West Shootout. So is Drake Troutman in the 7, but now he's got the proverbial rear view mirror full of Cade Dillard. Dillard going to try to tiptoe around the top. This time by 3 laps to go now. This time by coming around to 2 to go, and here comes Dillard.
Dillard with a big slider. He had 4 wheels off the ground. Hang on to it, Cade, as he'll turn out of turn number 4. He won't be able to get back around Troutman, though, as we got just 2 laps to go, and B.J. Robinson setting the pace, trying to win his first ever Wild West Shootout Heat race, move off to the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions pole as Cade throws a big slider on Troutman. DJ white flag is out.
Man, that is just wild watching those guys go off into turn number 3 as Dillard going to go to the high side. This happens now about 5 car lengths behind your race leader, B.J. Robinson. As they go off into turns 3 and 4 for the final time, the Hooker Trucking checkered flag is out. The winner of Penske Shocks Heat 3, B.J. Robinson.
Cade Dillard will come home second. Drake Troutman in third. Forrest Trent off to the big show. 4th at the line. Oh, hang on to it as Don Shaw got together with Cody Laney. Laney in 5th. Don Shaw in 6th. Taking your 4th and final transfer out of Tennessee, it's Forrest Trent. Pennsylvania's Drake Troutman in 3rd in the 17. 2nd, Louisiana's Cade Dillard. And how about it, B.J. Robinson, one of those brand new designed Black Diamond race cars, Clements powered. The David Peterson Motorsports, David Peterson Contracting, Andrew Towing and Recovery, FiberTech Laser Cutting, Comprehensive Motorsports, TWM Racing Products entry for B.J. Robinson, who heads down for a Black Diamond race cars interview with Trenton.
So we're going to slide in here and talk to B.J. Robinson. Awesome to be interviewing a Black Diamond driver here with this Black Diamond race cars victory, or Black Diamond race cars interview. Post heat race, going to pull the air tube off the helmet. And Ben and DJ, one of the beautiful things, drivers from all across the country come in here to run these super late model races. And B.J. Robinson, man, how pumped are you to win a heat race here in Votto?
Oh, yeah, we've been fast every time we've been out here, except drivers made a lot of errors the first couple of days, and finally glad that we were able to get this new car and win this heat race, start closer to the front and see if we can get a good finish.
All right, Ben and DJ, shall back upstairs to you.
Thank you very much. Rio Grande Waste Services Heat 4, 4th and final heat of the night for their Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. Bobby Pierce on the pole out of Oakwood, Illinois. He's won the past 2 features in car 32 to his outside. Colin Weinbarger out of Corbett, Oregon in the 14S.
Second row back on the inside, a great qualifying effort for Portland, North Dakota's Jason Strand in the E85. And on his outside, out of New Waverly, Texas, in the Best Performance Motorsports number 1, it's Turbo Tyler Erb.
Ricky Weiss looped it around down at turn 1. He'll get it turned back around, join the pack. Inside of row 3 will be Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba, and to his outside, Jim Whistler out of Otis, Oregon in the 28W.
4th row back on the inside out of Searcy, Arkansas, Tyler Stevens in the number 2. And on his outside out of Elk Grove, California, in the Kevin Rumley number 6, it's Kyle Larson.
And your back row will be Manhattan, Kansas driver, the 18 of Chase Younghands, and Keiko Perez out of Chihuahua, Mexico in the 3. This is your 4th and final heat race of the night for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars, and this one's going to be presented by Rio Grande Waste Services.
We were all watching the Chili Bowl last night, seeing how Kyle Larson did. At one point, we thought he may be able to come up through the field. Lady Luck dealt him a bad hand. We'll see if he's able to come up through the field in this 4th and final Rio Grande Waste Services heat.
Bobby Pierce to the inside. Weinbarger steps to the outside. Turbo back in 3rd down the back straightaway. Pierce to the lead. Weinbarger in 2nd. Turbo sits in the 3rd spot. 4th is going to be Weiss. He'll take it away from Strand. Lap number 1, scored to BP 32.
Colin Weinbarger, another one of those really strong Oregon cars, and baby, as he bicycles down in turns 1 and 2, he's able to gather it back up, and he may open up the door for Tyler Erb down the back straightaway. Turbo drives it deep into turns 3 and 4, and he'll take that second spot. A nice job, though, by Weinbarger to not get that car more upset than what it was.
Bobby Pierce right now about a 10-car length advantage over Tyler Erb. Back in third's Weinbarger. Weiss rides in fourth. Fifth is Tyler Stevens trying to take it away from Jimmy Whistler, not able to get there. Meanwhile, Larson mired back in 8th as we continue to battle. 3 down, 5 to go, and out front it is Bobby Pierce over Tyler Erb, Weinbarger, and Weiss. That's your transfer cars, and it is a heck of a battle for 5th on back as guys are dicing all around this oval. Good racetrack so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They were almost 4 wide coming off turn 2 that last time. That's a great battle there for the third spot. Ricky Weiss has his feet under him, and he's going to take that position officially away from Colin Weinbarger. And just as we say that, Weinbarger gets another hit full of steam down the back straightaway. And I don't know if we can show the battle behind them. I know it's outside of the top 4, but they have been 2 by 2 by 2. There it is from 5th on back. Jason Strand in that white and green 85. The black 2, that's Tyler Stevens. There's Kyle Larson, much like the Chili Bowl last night. Cars are side by side in front of him. He has nowhere to go. And then they're side by side behind him with the 18 of Chase Younghans and the 28 of Jim Whistler.
Back on Wednesday night, a shock mount came off of Larson's car and hit Tyler Stevens in the eye. It broke the orbital bone, I believe. He was at the eye doctor all day yesterday, able to race somehow, some way tonight. Right now, out of a transfer spot as Bobby Pierce just has 1 lap left to go and a 2.7 second advantage.
Yeah, 2.5 second advantage for BP 32. And let's not forget that the number 1 pill in the Schaefer Oil redraw has been left for the 4th and final heat race winner each and every race. It'll be Bobby Pierce getting the win in this 4th and final Rio Grande Waste Services heat race tonight. Tyler Erb 2nd, Ricky Weiss finishes 3rd, Colin Weinbarger 4th, and Tyler Stevens and Kyle Larson come together in the final set of corners on the final lap in the final late model heat race.
That's going to put those guys deep in a B main tonight. Your 4th and final transfer out of Oregon will be Colin Weinbarger in the 14S. 3rd will go to Manitoba's Ricky Weiss in the 7. 2nd to Texas native Tyler Erb. And your winner out of Oakwood, Illinois, Bobby Pierce in the Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Hoker Trucking, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn. 2 wins already on the week, and now he'll move off to the redraw. But first, a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton Berry.
Slide in here and talk to Bobby Pierce. You had a very comfortable lead right there, Bobby. We saw you on the top, on the bottom. Are you just trying not to go to sleep out there because you're so fast, or are you trying to learn something for later on?
Man, yeah, it's fun just searching around, trying to find a good groove, what might work in the feature. I figured they probably won't prep the track tonight, so I really wanted to test the waters on both top and bottom, see where my car was good.
All right, here's a chance where you get to lie. Which line did you like better?
Man, honestly, both of them feel pretty good. Like, it's getting slick on the top and the bottom in spots, but a lot of cushion in 3 and 4, so.
All right, there you go. Hey, good job with that, by the way. Handled that like a pro, didn't he?
Like a pro. He ain't giving nothing away either, Trent. He had no speed secrets. As we get set now for Border Tire, B main number 1 for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented. Play again. Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire. And here's how we're going to roll them around. 12 laps. Top 4 will move on, but first let's go to the Flow Racing or the FK Rodden's instant replay of what happened with Tyler Stevens and Kyle Larson, if we have that.
Yeah, they're still getting them separated down in turns 3 and 4.
As that was the battle, I believe, for 6th, and Larson was trying to get under Tyler Stevens, and those two get together. Now they're going to be deep in a B main coming up later, both of those drivers, as they're still separating. And let's go ahead and talk about who's going to be in Border Tire, B main number 1 for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire. And it'll be Josh Kane on the pole out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico in the 3J. To his outside, Sibley, Louisiana's Connor Williams in the 47cc.
Second row back out of Strong City, Kansas, Clayton Schroer in the 25. And on his outside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 23B, Israel Ortega.
Moving back to row number 3, it'll be Dusty Riggs out of Hatch, New Mexico, last year's Legends Car champion here. And to his outside, Scott Benz out of Jamestown, North Dakota in the 1S.
Moving back to row 4, we find the Alamogordo, New Mexico driver in the 81. That's Devin Jobin. And on his outside, the winner here Wednesday night from Las Cruces in the X15 is Jesse Haney.
Row 5 will be Chad Reed out of Yukon, Oklahoma in the 58, and the 5M of Las Cruces racer Eric McNutt.
6 throwback on the inside. Happy 19th birthday to Bosque Farms, New Mexico driver Aiden Frazier in the 28A. And on his outside, first time with us here this week out of Grants, New Mexico. In the 23, it's Kyle Nanko.
Row 7 will be Calera, Oklahoma's William Gould if he can make it in the 60 in the 96V of Victor Barraza out of El Paso.
8 throwback on the inside, defending track champ in this division is Donovan Flores in the 07. He's from Las Cruces. And on his outside, from Grants, New Mexico, in the 27 in, it's Colton Poland.
And row 9 scheduled to be Willie Gamble out of West Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Actually, just Siloam Springs, Arkansas in the 7. And Drew Padgett out of Kaufman, Texas in the 20D. So if they can all make it, 18 cars still trying to get them unsorted down there. And a couple notes, if you're in the grandstands, the big white tent in the midway toward turn 1, that is open to everybody. There's TVs, there's tables, and there's heaters in there, so make yourself at home throughout the night over there.